I'm always ready.
Beyblades.
And welcome back to another episode of Roll for Story, the Diamond Soul arc. Last session, you guys had pushed deeper into the cracked nest, and this dungeon had suddenly taken a dangerous turn when you found yourself attacked by a ferroflem. So this kind of ooze that seems to be attracted by metal and metallic qualities, and as it tried to find you, it pushed itself into the strange rock that it found and sensed, but unbeknownst to it, you'd already teleported out, and as soon as it went in, you closed it back up, creating effectively like a Pokeball for this thing to chill in.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, that was that one dealt with. Combat ended very swiftly. It's a shame. I'll maybe throw that against a different party some other time. Very cool monster. Metallic oozing. After that, you found that the passage ahead was clear. Seems like those other Carnifex constructs had gone to find that sound that you'd made earlier. So you took the opportunity to steal some opalite, kind of glowing and gives off this light. And Andi fashioned it into like a headband, and Eirina's got one on top of their hat as well. Little headlamp. And you moved in further and further through the nest. In fact, let's go back to the map just so Kesh'an can see it as well. The dungeon you previously explored, Kesh'an, was found by the rest of the players, except you hadn't gone down one particular corridor where there was an absolute abundance of spikes. They seem to be some sort of trap, possibly built as a defense mechanism against worm invasions. Thankfully, you were able to get across fairly unharmed. You found such tunnel from said worm, and you also hid in it when a nearby patrol went past. You went down another room of spikes and found this large factory, this mechanized workshop where you could see these pieces of construct being built and placed together, and inside the center of which a crystal housing. And one of these constructs was being built right now. It was in the process of being finished, and so you interrupted that, took that construct out, and it seemed like it had the power to sort of repel magic missiles and such, which was a first for you guys. Other than that, you also sort of had the power to sort of levitate and affect gravity, but before it could even cast a spell, you snapped your fingers and counterspelled it and didn't get to see quite its full power. You just took it out quickly, and then Eirina proceeded to destroy the rest of the workshop. Sneaking on through, you found another section where the actual constructs were harvesting these crystals, and you heard little Zybits say that place looked like home. That was what it was like before the walls, before the brick and mortar. It was like a natural cavern with these crystals growing naturally. And although he's never really experienced this kind of life, it's probably his past generations, but he said that this kind of matched the description of what his home was like. So there you go. And finally, you found the archway where you believe something beyond is probably very dangerous. The actual Terran translated as "warning, do not enter Crystal Nexus." It says something like another like warning, but then the archway is kind of like crumbled. You couldn't tell why it was so dangerous. In any case, you decided to push on. Found past the archway there was an incredibly large vault-like door. On it, there was a depiction of some sort of creature. You couldn't quite tell the exact anatomy of it, but the description I gave was like, you imagine the shape of a giant, like, wedding cake, more like, where you got tears. It was like one mouth was at the very bottom, and then a sort of another mouth was coming out of that, and another mouth, and they looked like large, toothy maws, you could say. Other than that, you had no idea what this thing was. No one could really recall any information on it. The only thing you could think really is that maybe there's a number associated with the amount of mouths. You counted them up, there were about 13. It didn't seem to match the number of levels in the sevenfold maze. But then the sevenfold maze is constructed by the Tao. The Great Khan built the maze in order to house his treasures and create a vault and a maze that people couldn't find their way in, let alone find their way out. Other than that, you have no idea how to open this door, so you chose the easy route and used a spell to pass wall and go straight through it. And when you passed through, you found the chamber beyond was massive. All these little crystals began to light up, providing a lot of light. All the way at the back, you see what can only be the crystal nexus. The speaker said you would know when you saw it, and this thing is gargantuan. From ceiling to floor, this crystal reaches, and it seems to be housed inside this giant Colosseum-like structure with multiple archways. And on the archways, you can see there are like these serpentine-like heads, almost like the worms you fought before. Seems to be 13 of them. And around the room is these circular decorative floorings, which Eirina seemed to count up and also managed to count 13 of them. And as you're like observing this room, you hear the whirring and activation of these constructs. They begin one by one coming to life, as if they've been laying dormant in here. A security cell that's just only for one purpose and one purpose only: protect this crystal. They began speaking in their autonomous chiming and scraping noises. And Kesh'an, you're the only one who could really translate what they were saying. And it said effectively, "You should not be here. You must leave for your own safety." And you were like trying to describe you're trying to like go forward and get closer, and this construct like stomped forward and said, "You know not what you do. You must not unleash disaster." And that is almost where we left off. The last thing is you kind of just told him that we can't really leave because you sealed the door behind you, which is true. So the construct immediately began to lumber its way towards you, and it started here. And it began moving in a kind of circular pattern. It seems like this whole chamber was built upon a natural cavern, and the architecture doesn't seem to resemble that of the Tao. It doesn't look like it was built by them. They're used to more like rigid, square-like structures. This one's circular, and it's clearly some other ancient race, maybe. You're not exactly sure. The only other clue you had was these two statues that sat sort of somewhere in the center of the chamber, and you can't tell from this distance whether they're petrified or whether they're just statues. But they seem to resemble these humanoid-like creatures, mandibles for like a mouth. They have these long, curving horns that they curl back on themselves, and they seem to be resting their hands on top of a large great axe that's just sat on the floor. You have no idea what they are, what origin they come from, but they don't seem to resemble anything to do with the Tao in any case. When this Carnifex construct, the massive one, got to about here on the staircase, Karius seized the opportunity to just dash forward and try to hit the crystal anyway. And as soon as he got to about there, the construct saw him going for the crystal and they rose their weapons in defense of it. So that's exactly where we left off. We're going to roll for initiative now, get everyone on the turn order. If you still want to ask questions, you're going to have to do it turn by turn because they clearly see you as a threat right now. All right. Okay. This is definitely the biggest group of constructs you've had to face before now. Some of them look like they may resemble other creatures that you fought before, like the ones that levitated, but they look different. Maybe an older model, maybe maybe they're just a particular honor guard that is set to only protect here. The only ones you probably would recognize are the smaller troops. There's two standing right in front of the doorway as you look out into the room. And Andi, you're up first. What would you like to do?
I'm just toying with two different ideas, but I think considering they're already on guard, my safest bet is she's gonna go into the astral and see things from that perspective.
Right. Yep, you can totally do that. So, the first thing you notice, the crystal as you enter into the astral sea, obviously there's no structure around you, no floors, ceiling, roofs. You feel this great sense of space stretching out before you, stars twinkling in the night sky. It's like a freeing moment because you've been stuffed in the underground for such a long time. It's very claustrophobic. To suddenly be floating freely in space, it's just relaxing at first. But there's this pulsing, almost like a comet. It's sort of just hovering just yonder, probably in about the same position as where that crystal is. And surrounding it is a sort of like a barrier, but it's sort of translucent, like a membrane almost. The only other things you see in the astral sea is possibly just these old kind of meteorites that are floating by. They're like fragments almost. You know, like the rings of Saturn, perhaps. There's just this belt of asteroids that just look ancient, perhaps long distant worlds crumbled into pieces, now pulled into a different orbit. But they seem to just be floating gently in a circular pattern, in the same kind of pattern, perhaps, as the room you were just in. Those kind of decorative circular plates everywhere. There's like a belt of asteroids like that, sort of just circling slowly.
And how
Still.
many of them are there?
There's about 13 of them,
There
you
we
could
go.
you could say. Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Other than that, unless there's anything else you want to do,
No, that's it for now, because I don't know what she's going to be able to do yet against this thing.
I have a
Okay.
question.
you have a
Can
question?
Houdini go with you? Because technically she's in the hood.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Houdini's small enough they would
Houdini's
be
just
whisked
kind of
away
like in
with
the
him.
astral sea, like, what the heck?
She's been there once before.
Just wide-eyed. Still amazes them. Alright then. So we're going to go to the Carnifex constructs who are clearly making these kind of alarming sounds as you guys have just, well, Karius in particular has just rushed forward, and this creature begins to float up and towards you, Karius, perhaps trying to intercept you. And
Morning.
as it does, yeah, it hovers quite quickly. This thing speeds off almost like it has no friction in the air, and it intercepts to about here. Now, it's still 15 feet. We'll make it up. It kind of goes to the same elevation you're at as well.
Yep.
You'll put it about 20 feet in the air. And let's see, as an action, we've got a couple of options. Yep, we're going to start off with this.
Quick question: have we rested at any point?
Nope.
No, this is the HP you've come in on. You did get healed up a little bit,
We had a
but
short rest, I think. Didn't we?
Yeah.
not last session.
No, not last session, but
Oh no, that
We-
was a couple
I did
sessions before.
I did heal you up a bit. We decided not to use your wholeness of body though because we thought you'd probably want to use it when you're lower on health. And
Wise choice.
I think you're only on about 30 HP, and then
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't short rested for a little while.
So I'm running out of key as well.
I couldn't do the big heal that I normally do, so I used Mass Cure Wounds because I needed to concentrate on Move Earth.
So the first thing this creature begins to do, Karius, is to try and slow you down. As you rush forward, you feel an incredible pull straight down, and it looks like you've succeeded.
Yep.
By a nice chunk. Why have I only got 12? DC 12.
I don't know.
That's not right. Let me just change that real quick.
But I've succeeded. The thing says I have.
It does
Kara
look like it.
succeeds.
And Foundry never lies.
Need to change that to be a flat DC. For the time being, we'll say you have passed though. You only take half damage, and you're able to push away from this, like this perhaps pillar of gravity that's
Yep.
pulling you down. And you can see over yonder, this creature has these construct-like arms that are doing these incantations.
Yep.
The somatic components.
Defying gravity.
So for now, you're not slowed, but it's definitely in your way at the very least.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's going to end the go. Elias, you're up.
Almost exactly where I want it to be.
If you're moving past these guys, oh, you're in the air. Never mind.
I'm muted. That would have helped. Yeah, I'm moving over to here. Now, Eirina would be with me because she's on the back of the horse.
Okay.
But I have also got my hands out, you know, like in the whole Jurassic World, Chris Pratt sort of, you know, trying to keep them calm. And then I am going to hold Polymorph.
Targeting.
In case our friend up ahead rushes forward anymore.
All right.
And I also say, maybe this isn't such a good idea, Karius. We are rushing in a bit too quickly here.
We have literally risked our lives to get to this point. I'm not turning back now.
Yeah.
Can I use a reaction?
Sent in the ranks. What do you want to use your action to do?
To shout at Karius.
Sure.
What are you doing? Come back!
I mean, the whole point was to hit the big crystal.
We need to assess this entire situation. If they're trying to do something, maybe we can find out what it is. And
They're,
probably.
they're here to guard the thing.
Yeah, but we don't know what's inside the thing.
Maybe we can try and talk this peacefully. You know, like the monk's way.
They pretty much said, leave or be destroyed, basically. That's kind of their thing. And, you know, there's a crystal there.
They said unleash destruction, and that unleash destruction is the thing that I want to find out.
And they also said that leave or you'll be in danger. They didn't say that they were the danger.
I also think that they are dangerous. However, I want to find out why, and also if this is bad, then I've got a bunch of people behind me. I probably run out of time for my
That's probably
reaction.
6 seconds. As you're saying that, you see a pulse of energy fire from one of these constructs towards Karius. They definitely go wide as you're zipping and diving out of the way. Another one goes wide. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, I'm unable to hit you with the the Grey Cleaver, they just sort of opt to raise their hand up, and you see a kind of glow from their crystal, and then this concentrated energy fires forward. But
Magical
way.
energy.
Magical. You could
Sweet.
say magical. Well, it looks force. It looks like force more than anything. That's going to be its go. Other than that, I guess I'll move it around a little bit. Zybits says, "Don't have doubts now. You are the prophesied ones. The shattering of shackles must go ahead."
I mean, I literally spoke to a
This is
god
what we-
about this.
That's right. God is on our side. Moradin has blessed us with a hammer to ring true. This is what we've been fighting for. The time of tremors is upon us.
It's such a conundrum.
I just want to hit it to see what happens out of character.
Damn you, Chris.
Zybits is going to just scuttle into the corner and hide. The speaker trusts you to fulfill this mission. The two construct troops down here, they seem to lack ranged weaponry. You're moving forward though, Elias and Eirina, on the glaive. I know you've not done anything necessarily offensive, but
Up the 20 feet, but we are also kind of like, hand out, just, cautious.
they're going to do their best to bar any more people from rushing forward.
That's fine.
So Kesh'an, they rush up, and they're holding actions. You can see them with big swords. Actually, what are they called? Mauls. They got mauls of rock, and you can see them thrumming with energy, and they've got them ready to swing at you.
See,
Karius.
they didn't even swing.
Karius just sort of looks back and goes, "I see two options. We hit the crystal or we leave and we've wasted our time. We have literally done this when we could have been going forwards. And honestly, if Llewellyn was here, I think he'd hit the crystal."
Is this a what would Llewellyn do moment?
So,
Well,
quick vote. Realize Andy's not here. Who votes yes?
Zybits puts their hand up.
we need more information.
Where are we
and
going to get more information?
Well,
I can
don't-
do something. If you give me 10 minutes, we can make an actual decision.
Do you think... Karius just sort of looks at the things and will call out, "Right, I realise we're all in a bit of a higgledy-piggledy moment. I charge forward, you want us to leave, such and such. Will you give us 10 minutes to think about this?" And he'll say this in Terran.
Oh, I don't understand that.
Okay, make
And will this be my action to do this?
it will be an action to do this.
I don't want to do that then. I could end
The
this turn.
The other issue is that they are in combat.
Yeah, which means
And-
he'll be at disadvantage or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's also not just that, it's their robotic mind.
yeah.
They don't see greys, they only see black and white. You charge forward, you're a threat, neutralized threat. It's hard to sort of sway a robotic like mind, but
Yeah.
there is still a chance you can. And if you do want to do that, there is
No,
you've got 9 persuasion.
yeah,
right,
I
yeah,
know,
you-
but
You're rocking a high persuasion. If anyone could pull it off, you could.
I just sort of look back and it's like, do you really think these things are, one, gonna listen to reason, and two, let us examine it? Because don't you need to like touch the thing to do the thing you want to do, and I doubt they're gonna let us touch it.
That's a good question. Eirina, does legend law require touch?
No,
Or
it
not.
doesn't. I can name
Okay.
it,
You can name it. Okay.
and it will tell me everything.
You know what? if you really don't want me to do it, try and stop me. Karius is with that. He's gonna.
Off.
Elias. Make me a wisdom
Because you're
saving throw,
not
Elias.
giving me any reason other than let's think about it, and I'm kind of done with that.
Oh
Technically,
boy,
I'll
you're
roll.
gonna have to catch Kesh'an's hands.
Jeez, I like this. This is interesting. In a party conflict, roll that wisdom save, Karius,
Wisdom
and
save.
give
Roll for drama, am I right?
Roll for drama.
That needs to be the new name of the episode.
Yep.
Roll for drama.
Oh, I could. Do I want to be that guy? I've got my reaction. I'm gonna do it.
gonna counterspell you, isn't he?
4th level.
Elias, you see Karius bringing up his arms to counterspell
Well,
you.
his tail just wags.
Unfortunately, you don't have a reaction to counterspell him back, because this is your reaction. Karius has swiped your spell away just in the nick
Yep.
of time as you try to catch him in the air.
Right, and these
And,
things can't reach me, so Karius is going to charge 50 feet
Flying
forward.
forward,
And then...
rushes towards the crystal.
And then we're quickening this to... Oh, this is using so much resource, but it's going to be fun, so I don't care. We're quickening this. I'm going to have to cast it at 5th level, because... Why not?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not going to place a template, because there's nothing around me to do hit with it. But I'm quickening that to go 90 feet.
Can you cast
90 feet.
Is Thunder Step? Can you cast 2 spells in one turn?
That counterspell technically doesn't count
Because it's a
because it was
reaction.
his reaction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to thunderstep directly there. That's the max range on your thunderstep,
Mhm.
correct? You are on the edge of the Colosseum, and as such, I'm going to roll for something because you're on the edge. It's literally a 50-50. So, 1, you're over the edge. 2, you're just before the edge. He makes it through. Harris,
And
as you land in this space, you feel a little bit of spatial shunting, almost like you get pushed suddenly, like an extra half a foot forward.
And Karius just sort of looks at the crystal, looks at his geoflail, and he's just like, well, Moradin, if you steered me wrong, I'm gonna find you and rip off your beard. And he's gonna booming blade attack the crystal with the geoflail.
Make that attack roll. Oh my lord, he hit. This thing's AC is incredible. It's like hitting a diamond. And yeah, that's it.
And there's the booming
There
blade
was
damage as
supposed
well.
to be, as I described it to Andi in the Ash'll Sea, some sort of barrier. And the max range on that teleport just put him past that barrier. It may look like it's completely defenseless, just sitting there, but oh no, they thought about this. Some sort of barrier was there, and Karius, as you get shunted forward, you use that momentum to then swing forward with the booming flail, enchanted by Moradin himself, to empower this strike. And as it cracks into the crystal, it rings out, and this deafening, reverberating chime echoes into the cavern. And let's see. Forgive me.
This is where we find out whether that's a good or bad decision that's just been made.
Yo, you
The
literally just
ringing-
hit the glyphic cocoon, man.
Did just destroy the Earth plane.
That ringing, it continues on for like seconds and seconds. You hear it like bouncing off the walls all around you. It sounds like it continues on through the earth. Like you can hear it getting distant and distant down the tunnel, continuously traveling all the way through the layers to reach where these other crystals are reverberating and effectively creating this chain, this network that spreads out and swells. And you can only imagine what happens all the way down where Eirina had that one vision of some sort of prison. These giant crystal rods struck into the dome. Because there's a silence that follows this, as all the constructs have just turned around, and they, if they could show shock, they would, but they're clearly like aimed with weapons at you. And then you feel a tremor.
No.
It sounds like a kind of shattering tremor, not something that was slow or moving, not like a grinding sound like the worms, but like this break in the earth. This incredible reverberation sends all of you to your feet. You can roll a strength save if you're on
That's
the
just the
ground.
sound of our trust in Karius shattering.
Actually, only Kesh'an can make the strength save.
Zybits.
And yeah, and Zybits, I guess.
17?
Don't know why
Nine-
that rolled as me, but
That was weird.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. You actually do stay afoot, but as this tremor goes off, the breaking of worlds, it feels like the rest of you can see the entire chamber shaking, the falling of rubble and dust from the ceiling, and you can only imagine the rock slides that are going on outside. You can hear masonry falling apart, towers crumbling. Everything is just going to shit out there.
No.
And the tremor doesn't stop. It continues like this never-ending earthquake that is now ongoing. So that's the thing now, and that's going to be in the background. Other than that, I think that's Karius' go.
yep, I
Cool.
may have ended the
All
world.
right. Moving on. I'm going to shout now because this is how it sounds like everyone's deaf. Actually, that's another good thing. You can make a Constitution save, everyone, because this is for the ringing. It might just leave you deafened.
Not again.
Yeah, it's bad.
Fuck's sake.
Karius right next to this is just like, I'm good.
Karius, Elias, you're fine. Eirina's fine.
Does Andi hear it?
No, actually, Andi does not. But they definitely
What's that
see what they can see what happened, and that comet, that meteorite that was still floating there, the one that had this shield around it. You just see this kind of burst of light and energy as it pulses through you. It doesn't make a single noise, but you definitely see the spectacle in front of you, almost like sound given form.
You
As a
basically see
wave.
the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost
I
like
see
that. Yeah.
creation.
As that wave pulses out from that epicenter, you see it kind of pass through the different stars and their distance, and you see 1, 2, 3, all of these stars kind of lighting up. Maybe they're exploding and causing this chain reaction as well. There's like 8 supernovas that you just witnessed in the far off realm beyond. Yeah, it definitely worked. Whatever happened, you can tell it's pulsed. All right, these constructs then, seeing this, have gone into damage control. Jeez. Okay, the 2 on the floor can't really do much. They actually can't. They're just gonna have to run forward, I guess. They just charge up to here. They'll probably dash. The one next to you, Kesh'an, they're going to use their reaction to swing. They see all of you as a threat, effectively.
At disadvantage.
That's true, yeah. Okay. Well, that's going to be a miss. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I'll try again. Okay, it's definitely a hit. So the first one strikes, connects, take bludgeoning damage, and then a thunderous boom, which you're still deaf to, but oh god, it connects,
Ooh.
and that's 32 thunder damage.
What the fuck? What was
Mhm.
that?
These things actually hit like trucks. They have a thunderous smite on their abilities if they hit, which they did. I'm afraid that is going to do massive amounts of damage to you. You're shook to the core if this thing takes its full swing. Okay, the Carnifex soldiers, the one down here, look up at you, Karius, seeing this attack has gone through. Oh dear. They fire up at you, of course. I don't know if they're going to hit. So,
Ow.
Karius, you don't take any damage. What happens is that pulse actually hits a invisible wall, and you can see the sort of shimmer over the whole thing. It's a cylinder that contains a crystal from top to bottom. There's no gaps or doorways or anything like that. And yeah, you realize that you're on you're on the inside of said barrier. So nothing really happens. Okay, I'm gonna move on to next troop. Oh yeah, the other one next to you, Kesh'an, takes its swing as well. This one's not a disadvantage anymore, is it?
No.
Oh, sorry. I hit myself. That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That might knock you out as well.
That will knock me out. I
Thunderous.
doubt it's going to roll a minimum of 4, so...
No. The thunderous might come through and rocks your world. You're just knocked clean out. As you're trying to shout out to Karius, you find yourself going onto the floor, unconscious. They really took you out, man. Okay, we have a Kesh'an down, everyone. Kesh'an down.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, the gravitoid rushes forward 90 feet to here. Target Karius. Wait, how far away are you from it? 105 feet. Can I even hit you from here? Probably not.
I like how Karius has just somehow put himself in possibly the most dangerous and safest spot at the same time. Also, I feel bad for
Let me
Kesh'an.
see. Yeah, let me just check if you can maneuver in a more accurate direction. Okay, that is better. It can hit you from here. It just takes a better path as it kind of maneuvers through the air. It targets you and begins casting another spell.
Oh, I could have parried.
Oh, you could have parried. You did just forget that, didn't you? What's your AC normally? 17? Or is it 18?
Can he parry now? Can he parry now?
My AC is 17.
So if you parried, you'd bring it up to 19, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
I'll let you off this one.
No, it was like
If
2
you want.
turns ago.
I was. Alright, I respect you respecting the rules. Okay, just remember next time then. You got that. Hopefully someone has something to get you up, otherwise.
I respect you.
Okay, Karius, do you feel a sort of a pull around you?
No.
Your hair kind of sticks up on end for a moment, like gravity just lifts it. And I think you need to make another save here. So let me try clicking this, see if it does anything. Did you get a save?
Yep. It's only DC 12, but
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
ignore
a
the DC
21
for now.
probably passes.
You did. You did pass, no problem. So as that gravity pulls around you, you sense like something is acting on your body, and you're able to sort of push it away again. This is Moradin's will. You won't be interrupted. All right, that's that could go. Is that a bonus action? Nope, that's an action. So it just does that. Attack close up.
Alright, Taklo's gonna go over to Kesh'an, root about in their pocket and feed them a healing potion that they have in their pocket.
Okay. All right, Taklo is a savior. Kesh'an, you're back up on health.
I'll roll the. Yeah, I think it's just a basic 4+2, so 7.
Is this Kesh'an's healing potion?
Yeah, he's got a potion of healing on his character sheet.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Alright, that's gone.
That gets him up.
Gets him up. It's the one. 7 HP to you, Kesh'an. It was only a moment that you kind of got your lights knocked out, but yeah, you're on the floor. It's your go, and you're staring at 2 of these troops that just whack you with their stone maws.
So
into the wall.
Kesh'an's eyes shoot awake as he sits up like Undertaker style. The air around him seems to start shaking, dust flying all over as it all begins to start going in towards Kesh'an, and he's going to pop his second wind. Wholeness of body, baby.
The full wind. The wholeness. The full wholeness.
Oh, wholeness of body.
Amazing. Yeah,
And as he stands up, seething with rage, he stares up at Karius.
Oh my god.
you can see it all the way in the distance from here.
All for you, buddy, to get you through to the next layer quicker.
Oh, that sounds so bad.
He's not going to move. He's not going to do anything because I'm going to wait turn. And also I use my action to do wholeness of body. But I'm up.
Stand up. Okay. You're up.
He will actually shout. In fact, no, he will move.
Yeah.
He's going to bonus action disengage. And is going to run over to his friends. His friends!
Yep. I'll be right there with you soon enough. That you have all your friends.
You're good. Stay up.
He will turn to Eirina and Elias. We need to make sure that the people of the monastery are okay. We need to get out of here quick.
We also need to make sure that we are okay.
That too. That would be a bonus.
Just get out. Any chance you can see, take it. Get out.
We blocked the way behind us, and I only have enough to get 2 of us out of here.
How thick is the wall?
This is the vault door to the Nexus. You didn't even find a way to open it yourself. When you passed the wall, you created a tunnel through the earth.
Yeah, and then I put a move earth up behind us.
Ah, so the move earth is only...
It's all that's
The
blocked.
tunnel is still there. There's just
Okay.
like a layer. But how thick
you
is that
see-
layer?
Well, the tunnel itself is, like, definitely, like, 10, 20 feet long. But the wall, there's only one space that's blocking you, and there's a wall, right? And that's only what? How big did you make the wall, Jamey?
About 5-10 feet. I would
Big?
think. I believe so. Let me
Yeah.
have a look what it would have been.
You can do whatever you want. I think it's up to something.
I just want to say the last part of my turn.
Yeah.
Kesh'an still hasn't got his weapons out because wasn't planning on an attack. We'll turn around and say, we didn't mean to do any of this. We wanted to see what was going on here. I think there's been an entire big misunderstanding, but we all need to leave right now. Can you get the door open?
Yeah, probably would have been 10 feet because I would.
He's the one you want.
I wouldn't have
Okay,
made it. I wouldn't have made it so thick, but I would have made it thick enough that the ones that were behind us wouldn't have easily got in.
There you go. It's 10 foot thick then, Eirina.
To be, I wish I'd just said 1 foot thick, but
Yeah, but then they could have broke through, so... Yeah,
but,
it's a tricky one.
oh.
Egbert's with you, Kesh'an, just like...
Did they respond to me at all? Sorry.
Okay, yeah, it's a good question. So, as you're trying to reason with them, as best as you can, give me the persuasion check with disadvantage.
Which I'm terrible at, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, they may not even be listening right now because
Fuck's
yeah,
sake.
they're not even listening. This deafening tremor has blocked out your voice as well. Even the one right next to you is just sort of swinging wildly. I'm afraid they're in a one set track mind. They're just trying to destroy the intruders. Yeah, and they probably do say something to that effect as well. Sort of like, warning, warning, threat imminent. Disaster is upon you. Evacuate immediately. All mortals, all living creatures, evacuate immediately. And they're just sort of shouting this on over and over, like this repeated siren. Anything? Oh, that's your go, right? Okay, moving down. It's Eirina's go.
Okay, I have two options here. I'm gonna go for the one that I think is thematically more appropriate and hope it works. Eirina is literally going to like full on panic mode, open like her jacket and start feeling through all the pockets, and then pulls out one of the scrolls that she found earlier and is literally going to sort of like point at the wall and cast Erupting Earth on it.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. I forgot you had that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. Erupting Earth does just a ton of bludgeoning damage. It creates like a tremor in itself, doesn't it?
In a 20-foot cube. So
Yeah,
it will
nice.
shatter the wall.
Let's see. Create a point on the ground. Fountain of churned earth and stone erupts. Well, the fountain is the door. As you see it just burst into pieces. Yeah, that'll definitely do it. It does create difficult terrain. So
Yeah,
all the
but
ground
it's
is
still a
sort of
way out.
crumbled. Yeah, you've created like a 20-foot cube of difficult terrain that is just all strewn along that tunnel. Nice job. Anything else?
And then we need to somehow call Andi.
I mean,
she can
just
see
what
us.
looks like a star explode. I don't think she's going to be staying there.
Yeah, I know, but like evacuate.
Yeah.
I'm on obviously the rocking horse with Elias,
Oh, yeah.
so his movement is my movement.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're 20 feet up.
I mean, unless you want to take the wheel.
I can take the wheel, so you can do other shit.
Yeah. Just drop me off where Andi will spawn.
Cool. Can I use, instead of using movement, can I drop off Elias and pick up Kesh'an and not move?
Is that the plan? Yeah. I mean, you can go down to Kesh'an, pick him up. Elias gets off.
Yeah.
Kesh'an gets on. What's the movement on your broom?
50.
And then you can go 30 feet back up. Or 20 up. Or whatever you
Go
want.
20 up.
Taxi!
Well, if we can get out with avoiding the terrain, we can send the rocking horse back for you and Andi, at least, if we need to.
Alright, do a little switcheroo. Okay, the Carnifex core. It's just alerting everyone, but it's mostly concentrating on you, Karius, and seeing the damage and the destruction. It's now just going to jump and land down on the stone bridge here. But it's so slow that that's literally its full go. Andi, you're back to the top.
Yeah, like I say, she just literally saw something blow up in there, so she's just like, shit, I'm getting out of here. Pops out again, probably sees stuff blowing up here. It's like, who touched the thing?
Yes, Andi, over here.
If this doesn't kill you, I will. And she just kind of like, you know, she's right by Elias anyway. We getting out of here?
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Avoid the things. Yeah.
Yeah, these things already use their reaction, so you kind of
Yeah.
rush past them and get to Elias's side. And that's just your movement. Oh yeah, it's an action to come back in. So
Yeah.
anything as a bonus action?
Oh, I'm running out of everything because we haven't taken a
I
rest
suppose
at all.
if- Another option, you could actually bonus action dash and then use your action to dodge if you wanted to just stay on
yeah, I can do
your
that.
toes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Just preparing for the worst. The gravitoid floats up to you, Karius. Like it's just on the other side of the barrier now. Unable to unable to pull you through the first time. That was annoying. Maybe I just try and damage you instead.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, instead of it trying to pull you through, it hovers up to you and you feel this intense gravity beginning to kind of crush you. I'm going to cast another big spell against you, unless you have any more counter spells.
Nope.
This is
I've not got my
okay.
reaction still.
All right.
Well,
In that case,
yeah.
then it tries to concentrate all of this pressure down upon you. You even see the pebbles and rocks around being lifted up and then pulled towards you. Did you come up with a save?
No, it didn't.
Okay, then just make me a Constitution saving throw.
That's good.
That is a fail. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to take 41 force damage as it goes all out and unleashes its 6th level spell, Gravity Fissure, that just rends your body. You see the rest of this crystal as well, kind of cracking around it. You're still standing just somehow as a miracle, but it's trying to neutralize you, you can tell. Let its go. Barely standing, your weak knees, arms heavy, feels like your bones are being crushed. Mum spaghetti. Elias, you're up.
Right. I realise something that I can do with the Broom of Flying that I haven't utilised, but I've seen Karius do plenty of times. So he does the whole Gandalf Shadowfax whistle, and his broom starts moving on its own, sending it in to basically to exit.
It's already used its movement this turn because the Eirina going down and then up.
Would that not be my movement?
It's the broom's movement at the end of the day, and it's got like some movement left, but I can't have it move on everyone's go. Like it only hears and listens to you, and if you've told it to come down and then go back up,
All right,
that's
well,
kind of like the broom.
that will be basically my command for it to
Okay.
go when it gets.
Okay, I'll tell you what. When it comes back round to Eirina, it will zip off.
Yeah, and
Irina's the one that's hitting on Eirina.
I turn to Andy. I'm like, ready? I don't know if you've done this before. This is going to be real weird. As I cast Dimension Door, and the door appears, and we both, as I've described before, basically become 2D and merge with the door as it just zips out into a line and just disappears.
Okay. Are you going the max range, trying to get as far away as possible? Which direction did you want to go in?
Towards the exit to an open space that I know is within 300 feet.
Okay, right. You're definitely on the other map. Okay, that leaves you two and Karius to get out. All right. So Andi, you're whisked away. Bit nauseating, but Dimension Door has pulled you out. Okay. These soldiers are just in an absolute disarray. There's not much they can do. God. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna fire up. Eirina gets struck with this sonic pulse towards you, and then one towards Kesh'an as well. And misses though, goes wide. These constructs are still trying to fight you. Zybits. Zybits is clearly going to rush through the little tunnel, scuttling over it. They've got Earth Glide, by the way, so they don't even care about the difficult terrain. Ta-da. And yeah, it looks like Tackler is probably going to follow along shortly, but Zybits is going to dash and just go through the tunnels. They're out. No problem. And he's sort of shouting as he goes with this loud tremor and ringing noise. And he says, I can hear it. It's a beautiful chorus. They sing of freedom. Okay.
Us.
The Carnifex troop next to you guys, they can't get you. They can't get Karius, so they run out through the tunnel as well. But they're not going to get up to anywhere close to you, Elias. Karius, back to you.
Alright. Well, I'm going to have to basically fight my way out of here. I could attempt to teleport past. But was I aware of that, like, barrier feeling to it as I went through, so...
You definitely see it now. One of them fired a pulse up to you, and you saw it shimmer over the cylinder.
Okay. In which case, Karius is going to attempt to just float through the barrier to literally just 5 feet to, like, here.
Yeah, it's blocking your path. You feel like it may be something similar to a previous level in the maze, invisible walls. You guess.
Yeah.
Probably something like a wall of force.
Well, this is problematic. Okay. That would be such a high-level spell to have to use for this. I'm just considering my options here.
Your options are 6 HP options.
Because the thing is, I have a feeling if I try to use a spell, it's just going to bounce off of the wall. But then again, it used a spell and it went through. Then that was a gravity spell. I don't know if it's just a gravity spell.
Oh, now you can't make a decision.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, it's... this time...
Sorry,
You're
I
on-
couldn't help it. I
You're on
had to.
6
Oh,
HP.
sad.
Fine.
And if literally any hit
Okay.
will take you down. You feel like you're on your last leg. And those legs are
Okay.
supporting.
I don't
Feels like
know
a few
if
tons of-
this will work. But I'm going to try it. Are they...
Mm-hmm.
No, they're out of range. We'll only work on this one. I don't want to have to use the spell slot. I've got no choice because I've got nothing else. Yes, a barrier effect.
You put yourself in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Karius
Yeah.
is just like, you know, this would be one of the times I could really do with something like Andi's cloak. Well, time to roll those dice, and I literally, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this with the bigger spell, so I'm... Actually, wait, just a second. So I can move around within the barrier, right?
Yes, it's like a cylinder. It surrounds the archways, right? So you can go down, you can go to the bottom, you can go to the very, very
Ooh, I
top.
can go to
You can go behind the crystal, but you
Okay,
just
so
can't go
under
out
there.
of this
So
cylinder.
if I went to there, I'm still within the thing, but I'm just
Yeah,
down the
you
left.
just go down, and you find
Okay.
each archway is on the inside of the archway. As you go down, you can see the runes on the outside that support this continuous wall of force. And they're just
No
all the way
idea
around
if
you in
this is
place.
going to work, but it's the only way I can get out of here safely. Scatter. So
Oh,
I'm going to be attempting to teleport out, and I'm going to attempt to teleport them in.
All right. So which ones Which one did you want to target? And what's the range of
it
this
would have
weapon?
30 feet for this, so it has to be these three.
Just these three, okay. Alright, and what's the save?
It's a
Wisdom.
wisdom save.
Alright, let's try the first one.
DC 17.
Let me just check. They do have magic resistance, so...
Yep, well... Okay,
17?
Succeeds, unfortunately.
This thing is too immense. The large,
Yep.
weighty, lumbering edifice, the Carnifex core, as he's been named, is just too gigantic. The smallest soldier. This one doesn't have magic resistance. It should do. I'll roll it. Yeah, that one's in. Gets whisked up and placed wherever you like.
Yep, I'm just going to put it like as far away from me as possible, like right at the back.
And finally the Gravitoid fails as well.
Okay.
6 and a 1, rough.
Okay.
So the big powerful caster that crushed you to near death is now trapped in here with
Okay.
you, and well, not for long.
So I've moved
You're
like
out.
10 feet down.
Okay.
So I'm going to be, then with the teleport, I'm moving 120 feet. So I'm essentially all the way over here now. And then
Okay.
I've still got 40 foot of movement.
Yep.
But considering that thing and the sort of range it's got.
Yeah, there's still threats around.
You know what? I've got a better way of doing this. I'm actually going to say I quickened that scatter using the last of my sorcery points, allowing me to dash.
Alright.
So I'm going, and then basically I can get to about there, I think.
Oh, wow. In and out. The mobility on Karius is zipping through like lightning. The Carnifex constructs don't even have a chance to react as this goes off.
And I'm what, like?
The two inside the crystal witness as the reverberating goes off. Okay, that's your go?
Yep. Yes, it's like, I can't believe that worked.
These soldiers leap up. They are melee combatants. They lack any kind of ranged, but that doesn't stop them from dashing up the walls, I guess.
Yep.
You're the closest target. They're on the archway next to you. So you might have to disengage next turn, unless if you want to risk it. This soldier is helpless, stuck in here. Can't do anything. The other troops kind of charge down the tunnel after Elias. The Gravitoid is the only one that can maybe stop you guys. Flies forward. Wow, that thing's fast. Pushes right up into Kesh'an and Eirina's space. And let's see. Yep, we're gonna go with that. Creep into your space and go into your space. So effectively, as it flies forward, it hovers just above you, and I'm going to target Eirina and Kesh'an with this as it begins to exert all of its gravitational force directly down on top of you. Did you get a save come up?
Yeah.
Okay, roll that save for me. DC is 15.
Oof.
Okay, both of you are pushed down onto the floor, effectively off the broom, because you're falling prone on this occasion. And that's an extra 2d6 full damage as well. Ouch, unless Kesh'an, you pop slow fuel if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay, so only Eirina, you take another 10 points of bludgeoning as you crack your head onto the ground. And the broom has been pushed down as well, I guess. It's everything in this space. You're on the floor now. On the ground, prone. As it feels like there's just this immense weight above your heads. Feels like it's a struggle to even like get up off the ground. But that's its go. Okay, Taklo's running. Kesh'an's up.
So Kesh'an is going to.
Let me just check.
I'm spinning Karius.
I think you've got him selected.
Yeah. So Kesh'an is going to stand up and will
Make another strength saving throw. I'm afraid. As you get up, it's like at the start of your turn.
14.
That's a success. This is just its
Sweet.
general aura, so you're okay. You can get up. Yeah.
And I'm going to pick up Eirina onto my shoulder, and I'm going to, because I didn't move, feline agility, action, bonus action, and no, that's it. So, what did we calculate that? 600 feet now?
Doubled and then doubled again. Yeah.
Yeah. So, feline agility doubles your base to 100. Then the dash, you're doing that twice, so 200. And then if you're action dashing as well, that's another 100, so 300, I think.
And then I'm going to halve that because you are carrying someone, so 150.
So I'm just going to say to Eirina, hold on! And zoomies.
Zoomies out of there.
Just
All right.
grab
Yeah.
it. I think I've got a choice.
Yeah. You dash past. You actually would catch up to these two constructs ahead of you. They're charging after Elias and Andi.
Gonna, like, if I need to, like, wall run around them to try and avoid.
Nice. Yeah. That totally happens. Dope
In
monk
fact,
shit.
for flair, I just, like, do the whole spiral.
Nice. Yeah. As you go past them, you're already on the ceiling, and then you land back down in front of them, and they're like, they look to each other as they're charging up to you. Like, how did he get in front of them? Cool. I think you're out of combat. There's just one person left in the Chamber of Horrors. And it's Karius. The cord charges after you. Can't do much, but he's so slow. Honestly, he just gets back to pretty much where he started. Come back to Andi and Elias in a moment because you're way ahead. Yeah,
Do I not get my turn?
yeah, I'm just saying you're out of this chamber and out of combat effectively. I just want to try and get ahead. I want to end this combat so that I can.
Did my horse come out of there?
Oh yeah. Well,
It
I'm
was
on
ordered
Eirina's
to-
go.
Yeah.
On Eirina's go, it was ordered to zip after you. So that thing comes hurtling after you, and it's not weighted down either now. So your horse would definitely catch up to you.
Okay.
But as far as I'm concerned, right now you're running, and what's happening in here is of little concern to you anymore.
Kind of. Except I would like my turn.
Go on then. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna dimension door back into the area.
Back in.
Yeah, I dimension door back to
You're running.
pretty much back to where I am. I'm like, one second,
What's wrong with you?
as I sigh, and I basically dimension door back in, and I'm looking like this way towards where Karius was. I'm like, you idiot! Get out of there!
And he's like right behind you. You realize on his glaive already out.
Oh,
Hi.
you're still an idiot.
Yeah. I don't think there has ever been an argument on that point.
And I'm just basically.
Like, that thing moved through the barrier. That's disappointing. I was hoping the barrier would hold him in place.
He vortex. Actually, he can't vortex warp himself.
I guess. So I guess I'm just standing guard in case Karius goes down.
No, you're right. He can only vortex warp other creatures. So he'll just vortex warp this guy out. There you go.
Plus, then if Karius goes down, I can make sure that he fails his death saves.
Lovely.
Idiot.
All right, Karius, it is back to you.
Right. Okay. So I could action disengage. Can't quicken.
At least grab me.
Yeah. So
I only came back 'cause I thought you were in danger.
I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna grab Elias, and I'm gonna dash which would be only 60 feet because I'm holding on to someone.
You will take 2 attacks of opportunity.
Yep, I'm risking it.
Can I take those attacks? Because I am actually also moving out of their range.
Technically,
yours
no.
is force
Karius has to
movement.
go down from the sea. Like, he's 15 foot up, and you're on the floor, Elias.
Okay.
You
So as
potentially
soon as
cut
he goes
one
down,
way.
they take 2 swings. And you're a mad lad, because these things do hit like trucks. I mean, one hit from anything is enough at this point.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't know this when I was like 350 feet away.
And I've got the AC. I'm literally... Because I don't know if he's got any spells left to teleport him out. And I need to get us both away.
I do.
Oh, I don't know that. And I've got
You don't know that.
And I've got...
What's with this new arc, new character mentality?
I-
I'm feeling it for real.
I literally don't have any... I could stop one of them, but then I wouldn't be able to dash.
It's fine. You do whatever, and
so
I'll
I'm
do
risking
whatever
it.
I have to.
You're risking it. 2
Yep.
hits.
Yep.
All right.
Relying on the
They
20
bring back
AC.
their balls and a thunderous smite charge ready on their maces, and they swing.
One miss.
One swings wide over your head as you duck down. The other one tries to go for an uppercut, like a golf swing, to try and catch you on the way down. And that misses as well. You're so lucky.
I was
Dice
ready.
thing.
I was so readying my cutting words.
So 15,
Okay.
15 down.
Yeah,
Grab
pick up a line.
Elias, and then I've got 30. So that would leave, if I'm dashing that, it should be 45 whilst carrying Elias. No, wait. Because I'd be at normal speed going down, which is from 50. That's really confusing. I hate this sort of like half dash because. Okay, so I move 15 feet down, which would leave me with 35. Dashing with him is 30, so I think I've got the full 30 plus like 15.
You'd get out of this. You'd
Yeah.
definitely get out of this.
Yeah.
Cabin, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
All right. You begin just flying with the glaive out of there. Tackler's already in the walls.
Yeah.
You could dismiss him at any time you feel safe
Yeah.
enough.
Once I've got another
though-
action, and Karius is like, just looks to Elias as we're going. It's like, see, in, out, no worries.
In and out, no problem. Okay.
Can I reaction basically try and pull his horn off?
Mean. I've already had
No.
it. I already had it rebroken.
I just got hold of his arm and I'm just like shaking his head as he's flying us out of there. You may have
Alright.
doomed the whole Earth plane, you dick.
Yeah, well, I may have also freed all the slaves. You know, I decided to roll those dice.
How do we get to the center if there doesn't end up being an Earth plane?
Well, we were told it would make it easier to travel through, so I'm just gonna trust the person we've been trusting for the entire time. And not the monsters that have been trying to kill us just for walking about round here. And who wiped out Zybits' people. So I like
If you
Zybits.
think about it, they've clearly just been defending themselves.
They were created to wipe out Zybits' people. Like, literally. And he's a good boy.
And what if that's because Zybits' people is trying to bring about the doom of everything?
Honestly, if the Earth plane goes under, providing we get the diamonds we need, I don't really care. It's full of slavers, and a few less of them in the world is good.
What about if
I'm
all the
hoping that the slaves are freed magically by this, and the goblins get out. Honestly, Kesh'an, now that we potentially caught up.
A lot of wishful thinking.
Yeah, I imagine you all having this conversation as you're running,
Yeah.
debris falling down
Yeah.
around you,
Yeah.
tremors, cracks and fissures are opening up.
Yeah, and Karius
Yeah.
is just like to Kesh'an, we got your goblin friends at the monastery to attack these people, risking their lives. Potentially some of them might have died, I don't know, I'm hoping not. Did you really want their sacrifice to be in vain, if they did?
It might have been for the wrong reason. We don't know. We got here and it was different. This doesn't seem like a very It's 300.
We chose the bad ending. Did you
I
choose the
choose
bad
my
ending?
own ending.
You
What?
definitely chose the renegade option. This was Mass Effect.
It was basically a decision.
The Earth plane will
do we,
remember
do we
this.
just continue talking about this thing we've been trying to do for a while, or do we just try to do it? That's what it came down to. And
I'm so conflicted right now.
Yes.
Karius
I
is a
Okay.
natural.
Like, I would have literally opened my scroll to see if there was anything to identify this thing. We could have. If
There's
any
no-
of us have any message spells?
I'll say there was no mention of a giant crystal in your scrolls. Doesn't seem like something that Ladolva ever came across or interacted with. But okay, so you've got out of combat. Is there anything you want to do immediately as you're running? All these constructs are charging after you. Debris falling around you. Anything you want to do immediately? As you're just running out at the moment.
I want to look down this area that's lit up by all the crystals. Does there seem to be a way out this way?
It does look like a natural cavern system continues on, and it's very well lit thanks to all these little crystals everywhere. Zybit says it's the only place that looks like home, but yeah, it does continue. You can see it running kind
Okay,
of
I'm
off
gonna
the
look
map.
to Zybits and be like, is there a way through here?
Perhaps, if there is, I'm sure they will tell me which way to go.
Then maybe ask them.
It's so loud. Get me closer. He's just like running up to them, and he's trying to get close as possible. So yeah, he gets up to them in no time. There are still constructs rushing after, but he takes a moment to sort of let out a small little chime and ring out towards them. And as he kind of talks to these crystals, he turns back to you and goes, "Oh, oh,
What?
hey,
What?
These are
they're
eggs.
me, but like in tiny form. They've yet to hatch into what I would normally become, a Chrismal.
Oh, it is a nest.
It makes sense now. These are all new Chrismals ready to be born.
Okay, but let's stick to the subject. Wait out,
Oh.
please.
Oh yeah, they do. They said the cavern continues on. Yes. And
But is it a way out?
A way out. They don't know which way is out, but they did say it continues. And you can see Zybix just scuttling on ahead. I
I mean,
trust them.
this way is lit, you guys, and it'll be easier to find a way out faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay somewhat up. Anyone want to ride again? Eirina, Andi?
I'd say give Andi the ride, just in
Sure.
case.
I mean, you
So-
can go on
I
the
can
glaive
probably
if you want.
shoot arrows off the back.
Yeah, I pick Andi up onto the horse then if you want.
Okay.
I'll try and keep up with Zybits.
All right. And Zybus does scuttle away, but you're easily able to catch up to him. The pursuing constructs see you going off in this direction, and just that moment you see a giant boulder practically fall from the ceiling, crushing one of them as they're continuing to chase. And up ahead, this cave looks just as precarious. And effectively, we're going to enter into a sort of skill challenge here, rather than going to combat on a chase sequence. The constructs are having just as hard a time trying to catch up to you. You got glaives, movement speed, and horses that are just outspeeding the majority of these. However, the one thing that does keep up is the Carnifex Gravitoid. It has like a flight speed of 90 and just rushes after you. So, up ahead is this crystal maze that just continues in different paths. you can tell it's very natural. So wherever you go, it could end up just being a dead end. No one would normally build a dead end, but in this place, there's just going to be natural pockets. So Zybits is trying to find the way forward, but if anyone wants to try and help in assisting navigating through this place, that would be great. You've also got the rock. You've also got like effectively the cave-ins to contest with. So we're gonna set this skill challenge to be like effectively like a difficulty 5.
Move up would be great right about now. It's a
It
shame
would.
that I lost concentration to use polymorph.
Yeah, shame you tried to betray me.
I'm
Um,
going to, because I can see in darker areas, if anything looks like it's about to fall from the ceiling, I'm just going to be ready to Eldritch Blast anything that sort of falls and sort of shatter it into smaller pieces so it doesn't do as much damage to hinder our walking.
That sounds like a perception check to me. Okay. You try to see the path ahead, where these boulders are loose. The stalactites are going to fall. And oh dear. Oh, that's not a great start. What's that about?
I mean, I could
Eirina.
roll again if you want,
No, that's it. The dice.
then don't
are-
complain.
Unfortunately, with the speed you're going and the constant shaking, it's hard to actually visualize what is up ahead of you. Several of these boulders do fall down, shattering and letting off shrapnel in your direction. One of it probably lands right into your face, dazing you for a split second, and you're unable to effectively see forward and help protect. You're just launching Eldritch Blasters off, probably haphazardly, maybe even setting off more of these stalactites. Some of them also block different entrances, and with Zybits was about to go through one, and then suddenly the boulder crashes down that you were unable to break apart. And he's like, "Oh, I guess we're going this way," and then suddenly veers away into a different direction. That's one of 3 fails.
Ooh.
Oh, good luck, guys.
You need 5 successes to help safely navigate and get out of this precarious situation.
We're
This
being
is- yeah.
we're being chased by the gravitoid thing, which is going
There
faster
is.
than us, right?
It's 90 feet, so if it dashed, it's like 180. So yeah, it's gaining on you.
So it's gaining, and as soon as it gets within 90 feet, I cast Confusion in the area, and then if is there only one of them, or is there 2 of them?
One of them's trapped, so yeah, you've only got 1 to contend with.
I cast Confusion on it to try and disorientate it, maybe make it go in a random direction or waste its turn.
All right, okay. So rather than roll a skill, you just want to commit a spell to this, and it has
Committing
got magical resistance.
Yeah, but I know that I could do stuff to get us ahead, but if it's gaining on us, it's gonna gain on us.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm gonna roll a save, and this will be, if this fails, then you've got a success on the
Which is
17.
17 is a fail.
Is it? Oh wow, okay. I forget
what?
your spell save is top notch 18. That's just a fail then. As it comes
Yeah.
around the corner past this crystal cluster, you see it weaving together a spell, perhaps to try and crush you again with that gravity, and you're having none of it.
The creature doesn't move or take actions this turn.
And immediately the creature sort of stuns up, almost like malfunctioning on the spot for a brief moment. And that's going to continue every round. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to count that as a success.
Also, that was my 7th level spell,
Good lord.
because that's all I had after Dimension Dooring.
Okay. You
Yeah.
got 1 success, 1 fail.
The only thing I can think of that I can potentially do is to basically link senses with Taklo and try to use these tremor sense to see if we can find like a path by that, like where it's safer to tread or to predict where things are going to fall, sort of thing. but
Yeah, okay. Like the tunnels pathing and which ways
Yeah.
lead to dead ends.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
basically
you're
trying
getting
to-
like a mapped
yeah,
echo location of the
Yeah.
area. You could totally do that if you want. That'll be Taclo's perception, but they can have advantage because they do have keen senses.
Uh,
And there's enough shaking going on that it does map out any dead ends.
Can I work alongside them at all?
Or do you want to try?
So as they're trying to map out the safest route, if it's particularly like a stalactite area, to try and avoid any falling on us, Kesh'an is going to try and do some nimbly ninja shit, and is going to run up the wall, and will try and hop off each stalagmite and push off each, and just almost wall jump, pushing them in like opposite directions.
Okay. Is that to try and help pilot the glaive, or are you just running ahead to sort of clear the path?
Clear the path, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like it then.
perception.
Perception, the 14, and then Kesh'an, you can roll. You're either athletics or acrobatics for this.
Yeah. What are you going to say, by the way, Steph?
No, so I was just thinking. So you're knocking them basically left and right out of the way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
and you're inspired, by the way, because my bonus action.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Wait. Inspired is
D10.
D10.
It's a plus if you want it. Next
I
time.
I'll
mean,
tell you now, you've already smashed that with a 20.
Yeah.
Quite literally, as you see one of these stalactites beginning to crack and fall, and you're just able to sort of smash it, elbow it out of the way, and then another one comes from the other side and use the momentum to push off of that one and then kick into the next, and you're just clearing the way. Some of the crystals, unfortunately, are also kind of falling. You have to play a bit of a game where you just like smash or not to smash. Some of the crystals you like grab and then let down slowly off the ground. But you have managed to clear a path ahead, and the glaives and horses and such travel forward in a straighter line. That's a success. That's 2 out of 5. Going back to, however, the
Fail, isn't it?
tremor sensors of Taclo, although it's a good idea to sort of map it out, there is so much going on. It's like deafening for Taclo, and they're disorientated by it themselves, and they're even hesitant. They're even hesitant to sort of try and tell you which way might be right because they don't want to be wrong and end up going into a dead end.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's a fail. And you're 2 out of 3 on.
No, 2 out of 4's fine.
No, 2 out of 3 fails.
I've not got many ideas. on
It's
stuff that
looking
we can do.
real bad. You need 3 more solid successes.
What other things are we coming across?
Well, I'm gonna pause for a moment because Eirina is done. Let's go to Andi because they haven't actually had a chance to say anything yet. Do you have any ideas on how to help the group navigate through here or avoid dangers, etc.?
Okay. I'm going to. No, this isn't quite what you're asking from us with this. But I'm gonna.
Could be
use
anything,
Major
honestly,
Image.
anything.
I'm gonna use Major Image to create almost like a duplicate of us running in a different direction.
Okay, yeah, that could work.
Subterfuge.
So kind
Right.
of like have them be really
That's nice.
obvious or something like that to try and catch their attention and run off in a different direction.
All right, that's
So deception.
you could roll deception, or you can leave it in my hands, and I will roll an intelligence check for the construct that's following you. And if it fails, then that's a success for you. Or you can try and roll your own deception.
What do you think, guys?
Kirstie, you have a
Something-
plus 14 in deception.
I was gonna say if
And-
they're
and
pretty
it's-
dumb, but you're
Roll the
being
deception.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very good.
deceptive.
That's
I mean, there
fantastic.
was a slim chance you could have failed that.
No, that's a roaring success. With all the chaos going on, and it takes that moment, that moment where it's malfunctioning, it loses sight of you for a brief moment, and as it tries to surge forward again and overcome the confusion, it catches up to what it thinks it's you, and it's actually your major image that you just sent down a false tunnel. And Zybit definitely didn't want to go that way.
Audio as well.
I think Major Image has audio.
Because I just want them to be like almost like bickering, like Karius and the others all bickering about
It
what
is
happened.
complete. It seems completely real, including sounds, smells, and temperature appropriate.
So you know you've got the
Nice.
stench of fear of them on them as well.
Amazing. Smell of fear. I love it. Yeah, this
That's
construct
just
is
wet cat.
Just like that.
Wow.
I had an idea for something that Kesh'an might be able to do.
Oh. One sec. So I want to imagine what they're saying as they're bickering. Just continuing the conversation of you guys arguing. What
I
does...
imagine there's like a more comical element to it. So if you didn't actually know who we were and things like that, it would sound like a really silly argument. But in fact, they're probably, it's just completely comical.
So your mother was a freaking aardvark.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have
Just
to break
nothing.
another plate?
Why are you eating my bread again?
There we go. That's what I want to
Turn
do.
all the lights off. We're trying to save energy.
Fantastic. All right, that is a roaring success. You've only got 2 more to acquire, and then you're clear. Don't mess it up now.
Okay.
I have an idea, but I would need an Eirina to help.
You need.
If we come across if we're rushing and we come across a blocked exit, I would like to toss my gunpowder forwards, and then Eirina can pew and blow open an exit.
You're gonna blow up the exit.
But that could also create more tremors.
Well, there's tremors everywhere. How much more tremors do you need?
I'm just saying.
But it's an option if we come across like a dead end or something. That
Yeah.
that clearly looks like it's a cave. That's an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of skill did you want to associate this with? This.
Could investigation for maybe investigation to investigate a weak point as we're going.
Find a. Okay. And I guess it is more intelligence, not only to come up with the idea, but also also the fact that, like Eirina just pointed out, you could cause more cave-ins. You want to blast a section of the wall that's not going to collapse on you.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be one way to win both of the positive points or fail the last one.
I mean, that's the spectacular way to fail this, isn't it? To be honest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Any inspiration, Andy? I can't inspire myself.
Yeah, sure. I haven't got many of them left, but yeah. You better not mess this up.
Okay.
That's the inspiration he needs.
Yep.
You better not mess this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Fuck this up, you're dead too.
Investigation then?
Yeah, you come to this dead end. You begin looking around. Zybit is like, oh, sorry. I think the crystals got us out of danger, but
What,
now we're trapped. And
what's your inspiration?
the
There are at least 10 levels in Bard, right?
D10?
I think
Yeah.
it's a D10.
He's a 11th level bard.
Yeah, it's a D10 then. I'm pretty sure it goes up like 10 to D10.
33?
That is more than a success. Absolutely.
I've been in
D-
war.
Where is Bardic Inspiration? I'm just
Oh, why do I...
curious myself. Yeah, it's 10 at 10th. That makes it
Yeah.
really easy to remember.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's D8 at 5th, then D10 at 10th, and then I think it might
Okay.
go up to D12 at some point.
Dr. Octopus's gunpowder.
It does. It goes to a D12 at 15th.
Yeah, it's every
Uh,
5 levels, basically.
Nice. So you've been holding onto this rocky gunpowder for a while, wondering when is this ever going to come in use. It's only a small amount. But that's actually what you need. You want a small blast charge you can open up a cave with. And sure enough, at the very end of this, there's enough light that you're able to see into the room, see where these cracks and fault lines are. And there's this one section of more, we'll call it loose dirt. And you reckon blasting through that won't cause a cave-in, but it will clear the debris. Yeah, it's C4. It's it's gunpowder. And then whoever wants to set it off, if Eirina just sparks up some fire, that works. And then there's a loud boom, thud, and a tunnel has been cleared in the entrance ahead of you, and it looks small enough that the gravitoid wouldn't be able to fit through, but you guys can. So even if it does find a way back to you, it won't be able to follow you. That's 4 out of 5 successes. We're at the very end. You only need 1 more. This tunnel looks like a safe exit. There's one final complication, however. And that is going to be a worm. Screw it. You find out why this tunnel was why this tunnel was so easily navigatable, and why the loose earth was here in the first place. It was a Sarthak worm. A Sarthak worm, not just anyone. This one looks like it's massive. Right? Where is it? Get the art for this guy. Oh yeah, there he is. This creature comes bursting through the earth. And with all the tunnels and with all the tremors going on, this thing is obviously in a fit of rage as its home is potentially being destroyed. Its maw just suddenly opens up in front of you and lets out this kind of
I have a potential
tickling
thing
noise.
that I could do. Skill check for intimidation. I'm pulling out the scroll of Shatter, running to the front of the group, and I'm just gonna get out of our way, and then I'm just gonna launch it forwards.
I am going to give you an inspiration on that, and I'm also going to combine it with a dissonant whisper to make it feel feelings of fear.
And can I combine that with a bane to try to give it a lower chance on the save?
Oh my god.
Elias
Alright.
probably sees Porky in this moment.
Can
Not
I-
Eirina.
Can I combine that with my excitement by just shouting, yeah! Mad Max style.
I'll
Just
play
yeah,
mood music.
yeah.
Boss battle music.
Absolutely.
We're making the worm nervous, yo!
With the with the accompanied shattering spell, I will totally give you advantage on this intimidation
So
check.
I'm just gonna place it because I've got to use the scroll, so I've got
Yeah.
to place it to
That's
take it on the
fine.
sheet.
Oh
So
my
there's
God.
that. And am I rolling the intimidation straight or?
Advantage as you're using up a spell scroll to make this loud noise. There it is.
Do you have bardic
Well done.
inspiration if you want to use it?
Oh,
How much is the bardic inspiration?
D10.
D10. Hey!
very nice. Perfect. With the screaming shout going on, the shattering spell, and even its will being slightly broken thanks to the spell of Karius, this mind of this worm immediately turns from fight to fright and flight. Finally flight. It goes and turns in a full 180 in the tunnel, kind of rearing up and boring another tunnel adjacent to this one, kind of goes parallel and just starts pushing through the earth, it's tilling it, it's such a speed that it's probably faster than you guys just because of the way you made it literally shit itself. And it's created another tunnel. If you wanted to follow in the wake of this thing, you could do.
Can we just grab each other like a conga line and grab its tail and just let it pull us along?
Yeah!
Yeah, why not? this thing isn't turning to fight, you can totally grab its tail and just
It just keeps on
idle on.
looking behind its shoulder and just sees us like, no, you're not going anywhere.
It's just thinking like, oh, my tail's extremely long, longer than usual.
I like to
There's
think
this-
we all just tie ropes to it and we're skiing behind it, essentially.
Amazing, guys. That was a rocky start, and 2 out of 3 fails was right on the edge, but you pulled through and got everything you needed. Skill
Oh.
challenge successful. The tunnel continues on, although the tremors are still just as loud as they were in the tunnel. You feel like you've escaped the collapsing nest, and so all that's left is just the tremoring earth. The spines on the end of the worm act as great anchors that you're kind of like holding on to, and eventually it comes out into a familiar area. Actually, you'll probably come bursting out of the wall back in the 5th region. The 5th? Who was on the 5th?
Yep.
Yep, that's the one. Perfect. Take you back to that map. Woo! Okay, where are you guys? You got even... Oh, there's your tokens.
The faces. That's
The
probably what's
faces.
happening right now. The faces are coming to life.
God lord. Okay,
That's-
so I'm going to say you come out somewhere on the right side here, bursting through the wall. You look down and spot the 5th region before you, and it flies downwards, like into the crevasse between the maze and the wall, and you can like all leap off at the same time and kind of land into the maze back here.
We all just like
Uh.
splat into one of these invisible walls.
Yeah. Effectively.
The faces
where's
are
the
now
speaker?
angry.
Where is the speaker?
The speak would be back in the center, right?
There he is, sat atop one of the fingers here, probably the index finger, and he's just arms outstretched, seemingly channeling or concentrating on some sort of a spell.
You sure he's
Uh,
not on the middle finger?
No, that's where Karius is.
No, it's almost like he's pointing towards the heavens. The entire realm around you is crumbling. It feels like the earth plane has just turned into just an earthquake plane, more like.
That's
Around you,
right.
there are these.
Quicker.
There are towers with those crystals now housed on them, and the pylons that are effectively causing a network of resonance. And the ringing is deafening in here, and it's reaching a fever point where the pitch kind of up, and then kind of lows again. You can see it looks like the speaker is almost being the conductor to this song, this sound. And as the pitch reaches an almost unbearably high note, Kesh'an, you're just like still probably deafened as from that blast. But
yeah, I
it pops
forgot
your
about that.
eardrums, and in that moment, as it pops, you see the earth beneath you also just vaporize, almost like it hits that exact tone to just shatter everything. And so I'm going to remove this old layer. That can go in the bin. There we go. Let's see.
Yeah, now we can actually see the maze.
Yep. All of the earth, all the way in a deafening landslide. And you are left with what looks to be the walls of force just beneath your feet and a bit of dirt. There's like probably a few feet of ground beneath your feet. That is being supported by that wall of force. So you're just left in this kind of tunnel that's suspended in the air. And sure enough, you hear the speaker shouting, "As promised, the way forward is shown. Press on, prophesied one. Your work here is done." He turns to you. He seems to be taking almost like a bow.
What's done? What have you done?
It's what you have done. You have achieved the resonance, the shatters, shackles have been shattered. Can you hear its cry, its roar? Vengeance come.
What does that even mean?
Vengeance for who? This could completely collapse the Earth plane.
It is the Earth plane.
I turn around to Karius just.
I mean, I've technically freed an entire plane from imprisonment. I'm good with this.
And damned them. So what's
They've
going to
given
happen
up
now? This place is just going to engulf itself?
It will engulf all who do not belong.
Wait, so everybody who's living like us?
Press on, prophesized ones. Press on.
I think we should just
This
head.
is not what you stand for. We stand to unify everyone, not destroy those who don't belong.
To unify, we must first create a clean slate, a carved plane of Earth. We'll
There's
begin
a word
anew.
for people like you, but I'm not gonna use it live.
Dick!
This is what you wanted, wasn't it?
This is not what Ladorvu wanted. This is not what your people wanted. Our people.
The Earth plane was never meant for your kind. It has only been a prison.
So, let me get this
Return.
straight. By freeing everybody, you meant, like, killing them.
They may evacuate. The Tao, however, they will pay the ultimate price.
I don't think the Tao will let them evacuate.
Then they will die.
Huh.
Okay, now that you didn't say before.
The Tao will have to make their choice.
But we didn't want to kill them. We wanted
Okay.
them to understand they're wrong.
Everything else that's going on we can deal with later. We need to get to this to the 9th level before it disappears. Okay?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
7th level even.
So,
We
We
need
are-
to
don't we need to pick up Raheem?
That's true. But you can tell, though, that Raheem and the goblins are probably just cresting the top of this side, the very north side of this maze. That's where the monastery was last time.
Ah, so we
The-
need to go up first to go get
So-
Raheem.
You can meet
Raheem is
somebody.
up here, and so is all the goblins. I'm just gonna.
Oh my god, we're about to slaughter so many people.
Raheem!
And here's Yakmug. He's like, guys, we need to get out of here. Something's coming, and it's very, very big.
Yeah,
And
we go down to the 6th
Come
level.
on then!
Come on.
As we're running, I'm just saying to Kesh'an, like, in your pilgrimage, does it say anything about Ladorvu killing potentially thousands of people?
Okay, right, down we go.
So if
yeah,
I
go ahead and
assume-
move your tokens. This should be an easy
Uh,
maze now.
I assume-
Wait, so we need to go to the bottom.
Yes,
oh,
this is
oh.
the layer that you can always see the exit on, and sure enough, it is right at the bottom.
I can't bring Tackley's. I'll dismiss Tackley for the time being because I don't need him out. I'll just put him back into his pocket dimension.
Yeah, they can
Okay.
follow this way or whichever way. And then, yeah. Okay, we're getting a... Oh, God. This is so bad. Come on.
Yep.
There we go.
I see you there.
Oh, no.
So, not the only ones trying to escape. The others are two large. Can't tell you their names because you don't really know what they are. But they look like granite, crystalline, like soldiers, and they've climbed up out. They're trying to get out of their own houses, basically, and evacuate. And they come face to face with you two.
I'm just going to say, stop with... We're going down to the 7th level. We're trying to stop whatever's happening here. Come with us. Help us.
What happens? Wait, we're still at the 6th level, aren't we?
You may still be able to save your plane.
They speak in Terran. They say, our only charge was to hunt the goblins.
That doesn't matter now. You need to worry about your own safety. Everyone else's safety. Just get safe, stay safe. Doesn't matter if you're good, bad, whatever the fuck you are. Get safe. And you're just going to run past. Come with us or get the fuck out of the plane.
Roll me a persuasion check. Or intimidation if you really want to go that route.
With the sense of urgency, do I get advantage on these? Because you know how my persuasion and intimidation is.
I know. Normally it would be disadvantage because they're normally hostile. I'm giving you just a flat roll. So
okay. I'm going to say persuasive because I'm not trying to be aggressive. I'm trying to be compassionate.
15 is not bad.
I'm just going to point this out. It took Kirstie 0.2 seconds to solve the maze.
Wow.
Wow. Can I also
I
point
just
out
had to
that
look at it and I knew where to go.
She literally just went, I've got it, I see it, and she just went,
can I also point out you still have your inspiration, Cam? You never actually used your inspiration.
That's true.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'll definitely use that.
They look a bit indifferent, like, should we just find our own way out? And then
that's 24.
And then as soon as you use that inspiration, they turn and say, no, these guys are stronger. Follow them.
Come on, we'll protect you.
They do. They just charge after you. Need must. All right.
As we're going, I also do point out to these guys that, you know, the guy in the middle is the guy who caused all this.
Yep, doesn't matter now. If he stays here, he's fucked.
Yeah, I'm just... Oh, God.
He says, my purpose is complete.
Oh, I'm colliding with walls.
I am merely its voice.
There's so much lag. Much lag.
it's going to take me an eternity to move my token through all of that, because it's just taking me like 1 square every like half a second.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I mean,
no, it's literally not.
You can do it.
I say now that Karius is there, we're all there because we're moving together as friends.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
As breath.
Okay.
I know.
I think the name of this episode should be Top 10
You just
Anime
assume
Betrayals.
Eirina gets to the end of the maze.
Did you see the little crystals in sections of the maze
Yep.
that he's placed? They're giving off light. Those are where he's kind of placed it on key fault lines to sort of shatter and resonate the earth.
Can I try and shatter one of the crystals as we go past?
Sure.
Not while something
Absolutely,
went
you can.
Because the last time we did anything with these crystals, it hurt.
Oh yeah, you know it, lad. It'd be loud.
I'm free. I have escaped this plane.
You're in an enclosed tunnel, right? So it's
But
gonna be absolutely...
doing it might stop the ritual.
The ritual seems very much complete. Whatever is going on, the constant tremors from underneath, and with Yuckmug next to you, he says, a shaman said that whatever is coming, it sounded really big, like something roared. Did you not hear it? I guess he was pretty far away, but
That was just me screaming at the worm.
oh right.
Yeah. Just for my own confirmation, does it look like the souls in the crystals are starting to dwindle as this thing is happening?
They are still shining bright, pulsing and pulsing, ringing as loudly as they can. It doesn't look like they're dimming, no. It sounds like they're almost like hitting a crescendo, almost.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Who's empowering the crystals?
You really like that word crescendo.
Because it's fitting in this because it is a sort of singing like crystal moment. The tone and pitch kind of heightening to the right one. Christian. Funny.
I've just done a loop of the airplane.
Nice. It looks like Eirina has made it. With that, you begin running
You
along.
literally could have sped that up by just moving me.
No, that was cool bits in there, and guess I'll take you to.
Was there anything in this box as we were running past, or is that just a box?
What?
It's like a box here. It's like a
Oh,
little chest.
There is a little crate. You didn't have time to loot it. Let's be real.
No.
You're running. Whatever's in there will remain a mystery.
Oh yeah, as we. Oh no, you're with us through it. So.
Do we
That's
not considering how much Eirina would be trailing behind in comparison to the rest of us?
Excuse me, no, that's my computer lagging. It has nothing to do with my speed.
And he'd
Yeah,
Eirina would be. Karius would have offered the back of the glaive. I don't know if Eirina would have taken it.
No, she would not.
Nope.
She's mad at you.
I would have offered Karius these hands.
I mean, he's not going to last very long in that fight, I'll admit. But then again, you're only alive thanks to Tackle, I suppose. He healed you.
All right.
Kesh'an picks Eirina up over his shoulder and just runs.
Yeah.
Again, it's my computer speed, not Irina's speed.
The
This
speaker.
Eirina's-
If you're gonna go by that, then Andy's still in there.
She got little legs.
You're actually on the back of the steed, right?
Yeah, but of course I didn't move my token, otherwise it would be the same thing all over again.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do moving the token.
Yeah. So,
Could you imagine if I had to move both of us?
with you guys reaching the end, the speaker lets out one final shout towards you guys and says, "I was named the speaker, but with my purpose complete, I now go to silence.
We hate you! As we run for it.
I let the earth plane speak for itself now. Its will has been returned." And with that, you sort of see him just sort of hover upwards and upwards, and until he reaches
I shoot him with 3 Eldritch Blasts and drag him down 10 feet.
I'm afraid there is about 16 walls of force in between you and him.
I was
Not-
gonna say for that kind of visual, I would probably see Eirina and just place a hand on her shoulder, like, don't sink to his left. Let's
I
get
would
this
like-
done.
Well, Eirina, it's a little bit shocking and jarring because as the blasts go off, you see him ringing and ringing louder, and perhaps even if they did make them through the walls, and even if they did have the ability to hit him, it doesn't matter because you see as he reaches this absolute breaking point, you see cracks form over him, fissures breaking open the crystal, and suddenly, as the impact of the Eldritch blasts hit him, perhaps he explodes and just resonating
An
rings
ass.
out just detonates. His purpose is over, and with it, you see the entire 5th level go up in dirt and debris, just explodes into nothingness.
That
Um,
that did not spark joy.
No.
Karius is
Oh.
just
Does
like,
anyone else feel like a murderer?
Karius is just like, damn, that's probably the most damage I've ever done in a single hit.
I hit Karius.
Yeah, I will also hit Karius.
We all just turn around and deck him at once.
And then we drag his body.
I probably deserved it, but at the same time, didn't have time to think. They weren't gonna let us think.
We are having this conversation
That's
later.
your opinion.
They were literally like, leave or
Ah,
die.
We're
I'm
having
not
this
gonna listen to
conversation
you.
later.
Just, I don't even. Out of character, I'm just thinking, what if someone sent a party of adventurers to kill Karius' family thinking that they were the bad guys, and they just did it. You'd be pissed.
Yep, I would.
Except
but...
you did it to a whole realm.
Yeah, but mostly for the Tao, who we know are slavers and evil bastards, because we've met most of them. They have tried to kill us on multiple occasions and enslave us as well.
Again, we can argue about this later. We should be running for our lives.
We can.
Oh, you're
We
running.
can multitask.
It's true. You're just running and arguing.
That was a
All
good
the
guy.
All the elements lived in peace and harmony until the Karius nation attacked.
As I said, water is superior to earth. I've just proven that fact.
Oh, as you mentioned, water. It just so happens that this detonation of the 5th region opens up multiple pockets of conjoining planes, like pseudo planes and quasi planes.
Oh,
I just caused a plane of convergence. Holy crap!
Something like that. Yeah, you're looking at lava being spewed out of some sort of pocket. There's like magma. There's waterfalls of water that just spew into existence. And there's a lot of color as well from all the different gemstones that are kind of falling around. It is deafening as the earthquake continues. The ground not only bursts, but also seems to just fall away, almost like it's opening up into a tunnel. And as that continues, the next thing you hear, as the speaker said, he's just given the voice over to the earth plane, if anything. I'm going to pause all that music. Because the next thing that comes after the collapse and after this tunnel has just been revealed, and I say tunnel, it looks more like an abyss, just this endless, bottomless pit. And it's hard to find some artwork for this, but just picturing like a ginormous cavern that has perhaps its own atmosphere with like clouds and such, just opens up before you, and Eirina, you suddenly feel a spiking pain in the back of your head, as if a flashback is being forced upon you by Candlewick. And what you witness is that same chamber that had the crystal rods pierced into it. You see a quick flash of that. The crystals have been shattered. They are laying in just wreckage. The dome is no more. It is just a shell that has been cracked open. And as your vision sort of flows up, you follow through this enormous abyss, this bottomless pit, following whatever has been freed from this dome, all the way up. And your vision meets your actual vision, and they kind of collide as you witness the emergence of this creature that it's rising up through the regions. You'd imagine it's already probably eaten through one level, and it's going up through the 5th, and you're on the outside of it, just watching the tunnel just be consumed, the ceiling just instantly devoured by whatever this creature is. And the mouth opens for a brief moment and lets out this primordial roar.
That Godzilla.
I unleashed one of the primordials. Potentially.
This spiny worm of immeasurable size just continues onwards through the region, and you're standing there still shaking on the ground as you just watch it go past you. It's like a worm within a worm within a worm. It just continues on and on and on. It seems endless.
You know how many times in this journey we could have let Karius die, and we didn't?
I wonder if that's the Nova Blast worm.
Oh my god, this worm. Of course it's a worm.
The Nova Blast worm, you say? You mean this thing?
Oh my god.
Almost bears a resemblance, you could say. Crazy that I had the art so quick to hand.
Because I'm just looking at the primordials because you said it let out like primordial shout, and I'm like, The sun was born within its cause, but it fled to the sky. The worm hungers for its child, and the world will bear its lost. You can hear its tail thrashing from a mile away. Keep in mind those jaws may already be half a mile closer.
Chris, move the beautiful artwork out of the way.
The legend had a myth about the birth of the sun. According to this tale, the world lay in utter darkness when it first came into being, and it was an enormous worm that first dreamed of light. Worm slumbered in a tight corner until the light began to shine out from the centre of the coil. Worm awoke and relaxed his body, and the sun sprang from its birthplace, giving light to the world. The worm feared the light at birth, for the sun burned its many eyes, and it tried to swallow the sun and drench the world in darkness once more. The sun fled into the sky, and the worm's insatiable hunger for the sun still keeps it in ceaseless motion, eating everything in its path. Yeah, I think that might be what I just unleashed.
Kind of fits the description, and the way it burned from the light of the sun, maybe it bored away and tunneled deep into the earth. Whatever this thing is, it's clearly not something to be messed around with. The other thing I was going to mention, I think only Llewellyn knows about the story of the Nova Blast worm, like in game, out of the current characters, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Wait, I do?
Yeah, because you were in the hut and you found the book
Oh, I
Nope.
that
did.
described it.
The Tan did too.
The tan, yes.
and
Yeah.
Elravan would probably know about
Yes.
it because it was a tale of the Eladrin, but
What have you done, Kesh'an? You're ruining everything.
He's been here better, to be fair.
Even it is not safe from googly eyes.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. You have indeed just unleashed a primordial creature, and you watch for a while, perhaps a minute, as this thing continues just going up, the endless body and creature just going continuously up until finally perhaps you catch the tail end of it, but it's just debris and clouds of dust that block out the rest of it. No, Cam, what are you doing? Don't give it a tongue.
That's not
No,
me.
no.
The newt is there.
After that, you guys are left standing over an abyssal chasm. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna start strangling Karius.
Eirina just starts crying.
Mm.
I wonder if we can. No, actually, no, that's just me personally out of character. I wonder if we can fight that power.
Oh, easily. I don't think it has that great constitution, clearly.
Yeah, it's clearly like fragile as glass. I mean, it got trapped and we managed to free it, so surely we could reseal it. And just like,
Do you know what? Jamie has the right idea.
Jamey
Jamey,
disconnected.
That's his time, yeah.
why does
Right
it
on time.
happens at like roughly the same time every time
Yeah,
as well?
that's what Jamie said before we started. Every week.
Well, what the
Without
hell?
fail.
Very
Oh,
bizarre.
what the fuck? We've released.
No,
Okay.
no. Don't say we. Don't say we.
Sorry. Carry.
How far? You said obviously we've got this big cavern. Does it go all the way down into the other layers?
Good question. I'll tell you, what you look down, even your dark vision cannot see past the range. There are just clouds that are kind of swirling around. In fact, I've got an image. I'll put it in the Discord.
No.
But you can imagine it. Of all things, yes, it definitely goes down.
Well,
Eat the baddies.
there's our pathway to the next layer, I guess,
Okay.
and possibly to the very bottom layer that goes quite deep.
What's Kesh'an stood on?
Sorry, what?
What's
But I
Kesh'an
was-
stood on? Yeah, you're still on the bridge, which was connecting the exit to the 5th region, and presumably the bridge continues on down to the 6th region.
So
But
that's
you're also
still there.
staring down at this massive gaping abyss right now.
All right, so that's still then. There's still a path ahead of us because for a second, I was like, is Kesh'an just slow falling right now? I thought everything disappeared.
He saved it before I can delete it. Good. Now I can get rid of this.
I guess we continue forwards.
I guess.
Onwards.
Okay.
I just don't know what to think anymore right now. I'm meant to protect people. I've
All right,
protected
here's
so
the
many
plan.
people.
We've still got to get Kesh'an down here. He can do what he's got to do. It may give us some insight if Ladorvu was down here. If not, we'll get down to where that thing came from, see if there's any broken runes, broken seals that we can try and somehow replicate and trap it again.
Hey, let's hope that when Ladorvu wasn't down here, his whole goal was sealing this thing away, and Karius just undid that.
I mean, considering like the weird insect statues, I doubt that's the case. But you know,
Even if it was, I mean, if he wants to follow the path of Ladorvu, he'd have to do it, right? You know, Ladorvu sealed it last time, he has to seal it this time, you know.
right, who has a way of getting down here safely? Do we jump?
I mean,
Well, you got two paths. You can either jump down this giant hole, which leads to God knows where, or there's the bridge that's supposed to connect to the 6th region. So
I think play it safe.
Your call.
Just keep moving, because if we jump down there and we end up in a space between planes, I mean, we could end up wherever that thing came from.
Okay.
okay.
Let's go across the bridge.
All right.
I eye the big like bottomless pit, remembering like the shattered thing, and then I just turn and go towards the bridge.
All right. Yeah, when you see these pockets of magma spilling out on waterfalls, most likely there wouldn't be a connection to the airplane. It's just water and magma, so fire and water plane. Earth is too far removed from the Earth to actually be connected.
This is where we see Fernice bouncing in it and going, "What the hell is going on?"
What have you done? Yeah.
I don't remember this being here. This isn't where I parked my Earth Realm.
Now, as you approach the end of this bridge, you begin to feel like there's some kind of illusion perhaps in front of you. The stairs that are supposed to lead down into the 5th region are like on their side. And yet you don't actually see, it doesn't actually feel like they're on their side by the time you get to them. It feels like you've been walking along a straight plane, and at some point it's like turned sideways, but you look back and you can see it has sort of slightly twisted, but you never felt that kind of shift in gravity. And you continue down those steps, or sideways down those steps, you begin entering into what feels like an MC Escher painting.
Oh, wow.
Where
You've
stairs.
seen the ending of Labyrinth where you've got like Jareth and Toby and all the stairs and things like that.
I'll get an image for him.
I get that. I get that reference. With the stairs coming down from the ceiling and up and round, and yeah,
this type of stuff. And it's not long, even going down perhaps 2 flights of these stairs, before you're already beginning to become a little bit disorientated. And if you look around to find where your party is at, everyone has already split off in different directions. Zybits is on one wall. You see Raheem is on another. And it's like, are you sure this is the right way? I'm getting confused here. And
what happens if we fly between one and another rather than going through doorways?
You can fly across to each other. Works. But the gravity seems...
What was the 6th scroll thingy? The next part of your Ladorvu's thing? Does it have any insights onto this area?
It does.
Yeah. Does it say anything? Does it say anything about instead of going through the 6, dropping through a big abyssal hole created by a primordial that was released?
You're not sure.
I
Let me
don't think it
just.
says anything about that.
Yeah, I'll let you read the scroll out for once.
Thank you.
Here you go. You pull out the scroll, begin reading down somewhere near the bottom. You suspect. Find the chapter, the 6th region.
As gods were rumored to have been constructed, the 6th region in exchange for vast wealth. Shifting walls and floors created a puzzle that easily confused visitors. Those who were not blindfolded, including noble Dao, run the risk of permanent madness or even petrification from viewing the shifting puzzle pieces here. So
Blindfold ourselves?
we need to be blindfolded? That seems dangerous, but
Yeah.
okay.
Wouldn't be the first time I've been blindfolded.
Maybe what we could do, because Taklo uses tremor sense, and Taklo, you're our friend, right?
Yep.
If
I'm
we
everyone's friend.
if we blindfold ourselves, you could lead the way, because don't you just poof away if you get?
Pretty much, yeah.
But you could
Taklo-
come back.
Taklo senses, although you're looking at a still set of stairs right now, Taklo can sense every single surface is moving and shifting.
But if he focuses on like the direct steps in front of us, he could potentially lead us.
Taklo says that this maze is constantly in motion, even though what you're seeing is perfectly still. And if Karius, if you relay that to everyone,
Yeah.
you look around the room. It looks pretty still to you, and Taklo is like shaking his head, and he seems to be following something, like moving up, down, left, right, like he's moving and following something in a kind of square-like pattern. And
I mean, I can technically share Taklo's senses, so can I do that to share his tremor sense and get the feeling of what he's feeling?
Yes, you can. You tap into his senses, and you immediately make an intelligence saving throw, as you're beset by some sort of maddening, shifting puzzle that is so incomprehensible to your mind that the only thing it can do is freeze frame one image so that it can unravel the puzzle. And that's what your minds have done right now. They've just snapshotted one instance of the puzzle. Otherwise, if it was continually moving, you'd be mesmerized and go insane. And you have to pull out of his senses almost immediately, Karius. You do make the save, and you don't go mad, but you can't stay in that.
Okay, Taklo might be able to handle that, but goddamn.
I may have an idea.
That's
maybe
that's what you saw, Karius.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's what you kind of witnessed, Karius.
Is that the screensaver?
That is the
screensaver. That's what I thought.
Right. Maybe someone from the Earth plane can guide us through this. I blindfold myself, and I pull out Dr. Octopus, and I just try and get a sense.
Dr. Octopus is an inanimate rock.
No, he's not. He's alive.
Raheem's like, what are you doing? You're talking to your pet rock again?
He's alive. He's done things. He
Are you
created.
sure?
Yeah, he created. He turned into me.
I think for this one, Kesh'an, did you say this place sends you mad? I think we've already lost one.
Yep.
He turned into me. He also created gunpowder one day, and then when I tried to message him, it sounded like earth rumbling, which I'm pretty sure is Terran, but not that I understand it. And also, he hasn't caused the destruction of a realm, so I trust him more than what Karius is doing right now.
All right, fine. I step
I
away.
mean, to be
Do what you want with your pet rock.
to be fair, on your point of maybe someone from the Earth plane can guide us, didn't Kesh'an literally just say that even the Tao could be driven mad and petrified by this? So
Yeah, but the Dr. Octopus doesn't have eyes, apart from the googly ones I put on him.
It's obvious to me that this Khan was so paranoid that he thought that even his fellow Dao would try and steal from him. So he made this level to be impossible for even them. Only the Khan can probably get through here, and he's dead because we killed him. Remember that part?
well, you
We
weren't
didn't
that.
kill him. Yeah, we did.
Well,
I helped.
we tried. Yeah, we all helped. Kesh'an, you wanted to say something, Kesh'an?
Yeah, Kesh'an's just going to take out a piece of felt and he's going to wrap it around his eyes and is going to begin walking forward and is going to just trust in his senses and his training.
Cool. So we're all just gonna do like a conga line.
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my hat all the way down over like half my face so you just have the hat.
my tail
Yeah.
will probably just flicker past, so most likely Andi will.
Okay. Sure.
Most likely Andy will what? Sorry, you cut off.
Will grab, like when we're in
Oh,
a
yeah.
dark place.
Grab
I
the
mean,
tail.
she's pretty good at hearing though, but I'd imagine she'd hold on, but she won't hold on too tightly because of course he's trying to use his senses, so it doesn't probably help if he can feel her tugging on his tail.
It's like another limb. It's fine. Another entity. But yeah, Kesh'an will just start walking.
All right. Being blindfolded, is anyone not blindfolded? Or
No,
just
she's following his lead.
okay?
If this is the way it's supposed to be done, then
This
Sure.
is the way.
This is the way.
So you're following with his tail, and then the others are following along.
have blind faith.
Yep.
Are you all holding on to each other's shoulders?
I guess.
Like
Let's all do
Karius,
the
Elias?
conga.
Yeah.
Let's all do the conga.
Okay, Raheem follows along then. He's just like, oh, I don't like this. And he's just holding a hand over his eyes. Yugmug is also
Turn
in
them
tow.
down.
Pull your
What?
turban down.
He's lost
So-
to Earth with us as well.
Lost to Earth is with you. Let's just do a quick NPC check. Register. Lost to Earth is with you, and he's still completely dumbstruck by what he's just witnessed. Raheem is with you, of course. Yukmug and the Goblin crew, they say to you, Kesh'an, like, well, hey, we got you this far now. Do you need us to come with you the rest of the way?
This is up to you. As long as you're safe, that's my main concern. I don't know where this is going to take us, or if this is even going to take us out. But if there's a sure way of stopping this, I'm praying it's going to be at the bottom level.
Well, we can't go back. Monastery's kind of in rubble. So I guess we're with you, actually. We'll follow
Right.
along. And the goblin form into their own little conga line behind you guys.
That's,
And
As-
then we, of course, have the two random.
Oh yeah, they as well. They're like, they've not said much up to this point. Just been letting you bicker it out.
they've
But
gone mad.
they've been following along. They're like, they probably need to speak up in Terran, like, you want us to close our eyes?
I would say so. The same thing applies to you. Once again, regardless if we're friends or enemies before, that's different now. This is a fight for your plane, your home. So if you want to come with us, you're more than welcome to. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome. If you are coming, though, I would recommend closing your eyes.
We just, how do we know this isn't some kind of trick?
Look behind you.
Sometimes you have
Okay, they look behind them. They're gonna roll intelligence saves.
Oh no. As in at the fucking chasm.
No,
that
they
was
know
left
that
behind.
part. They know that's not a tree, but they're talking about getting them to cover their eyes. It seems
Oh, okay.
a little bit odd
And
to them
I
that
mean,
they've got to cover
Kesh'an,
them.
Kesh'an would have unblindfolded himself and turned around to them to
Mm.
look at them.
Oh. All right, fine. Seems ridiculous, but they follow along. Jamie, yeah.
Gotcha.
As we're conga lining and I've got my hands on Lost to Earth or other way around, his on mine. Right, isn't it ironic that your name's Lost to Earth, but you weren't in all this?
Hmm. I was lost to the Earth plane, but I suppose the plane itself is now also lost.
Yet here you are. Aren't you lucky?
I'm alive, and I'm free. So yes, even
Well,
if I am going to go mad, at least I'll go mad as a free man.
well, no, don't go mad. We're gonna get out of this. Just stick with us.
Very well. Kind of nods and places his hand on your shoulder, and in doing so places his trust in you.
Nods in Terran. Let's go.
Yeah, nods in turn. Oh god. My eyes. Sorry. You don't want to open your eyes unless you want to be hit with something.
DM's
All right.
gone mad.
The
Yeah,
end's gone mad.
I opened my eyes momentarily to see the shifting puzzles before me, but okay. So you are going completely blind right now, onwards through the maze, continuing deeper and deeper, and as such, just gonna get rid of all this artwork.
All the pictures have googly eyes.
Every picture has googly eyes now. Yeah, it's true. You got the picture of.
Saving these for later.
Newt just appeared.
Oh no, I put that on the worm.
I didn't see it. It only just appeared.
Move these over. So, complete darkness, no light, no sense of direction. The person at the front, who is at the front? Kesh'an, yeah?
That would be me. Yeah.
You continue through the maze. Minutes turn into hours. And you have no idea how deep you are into this maze. Did you at any point stop to have a rest or anything, or you?
Yeah.
pushing on?
Yeah. I would have thought at some point just try and get us a bit healthier than we are, maybe.
We all just sort of sit in our conga line
Yeah.
Yeah.
and take a few breaths.
Are we taking a short rest or a long rest?
Short rest. We don't
Sure,
have
we
time
haven't
for
got
a
time
long.
for a long rest.
Okay. You can take a short rest. And you do so in complete darkness.
Yeah.
Holding on to each other's hands or shoulders, making sure that you don't get lost. And I'm kind of interested. I would say that it takes quite a lot of discipline to be able to keep your eyes shut, keep blindfolded this long, not wanting to even take a peek at where you are or what's going on. But if you tell me that you are under no circumstances opening your eyes, then I'll take your word for it. Otherwise, if you feel like your character would be tempted,
Plus 12 to everybody, by the way. I just rolled max on Song of Rest.
very,
Let that
Oh,
last.
sweet. That brings me just under full. Ha!
very
Uh,
nice.
Yeah.
But if you feel your character would be tempted to take a peek, you can optionally roll a wisdom save.
I would like to say that Elias has probably done this before.
Has it?
A few nights,
Mhm.
here and there.
You were going to say something.
And I'm not going to elaborate on that any further.
I was just gonna say that it's considering the situation, she'd actually ask Kesh'an, how do you properly meditate? This is a very humbling experience, so
How do I meditate?
yeah, how would you're the
Uh,
monk.
He's never really thought of it because it's just kind of like, I guess, how anyone else would rest, apart from instead of just thinking of nothing, you reflect on things you've learned, things you want to do, anything. It's more a time of deep thought. If you mean physically, how do I meditate? It's just closing my eyes like we are right now.
Well, that's what made me think. I've seen you sat there in meditation. Now that it's complete darkness,
It's
what
a
a
lot
better time
easier.
to try and learn how to do it.
Okay. It's a lot easier in, for example, the monastery we had. We had meditation chambers which were comfy. There was a nice ambience. I'm assuming where we are right now, there's like, is there sound at all?
No, not really. You've only had your footsteps is your only sound.
What if we
'Cause-
play music as we go so we don't go insane from just being blindfolded?
99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Yeah.
99
Yeah.
bottles of beer.
If one of those balls had happened to fall.
There'd be 98 bottles of beer on the wall.
This is half the reason why I can't meditate.
And we continue on until we get to 0, and then we start a different one.
I'll just turn
No,
to
Irina's thinking about other shit. She's
I'll
not
just-
thinking right now.
I'll just turn to Andy and say, lesson number 1 on meditation: block out everything around.
Okay, so I can block out Elias's mouth then somehow.
If you can.
We get to 0, and then we start singing. There was one in the bed, and the little one said, "Roll."
To be fair, you're by yourself. Irina's not actually singing this time around.
And it said, "Keep walking, keep walking."
I mean, considering we can't actually see, as a nice kind of moment, Kesh'an will reach into his bag, obviously knows what the frozen flame feels like. He'll bring that out, place it in front, and he'll take Andy's hand and place it on top of the frozen flame, and his on top, and he'll just say, picture the flame and focus on what it looks like, the flicker of the flame itself, and just use that to channel what you're thinking, clear your mind, normal breathing exercises, and try and help with that meditative state. Just as like a little taster.
Yeah. Concentrating on something so simple effectively clears your mind such that you're not thinking about all the stress, all the things you've just seen, just picturing the flame. And it's actually the lack of flickering that kind of captures the meditative like trance. It's the stillness that is actually quite mesmerizing. Normally you're used to seeing flickering, but the frozen flame is just that. It is frozen, and yet you can feel a warmth, a heat radiating from it. And you just tap into that one sort of singular instinctual kind of emotion of heat, warmth.
Instead of going in to rest with a blank canvas, you go in with motive, an idea, a thought, a focus for all you spellcasters out there.
Because I think the idea is that, of course, she's really mad at what had happened.
Mm.
The point that she didn't know how to really verbalize it. Really, she's just like seething. So she's kind of like using this moment to see if by doing this would help her calm down before she does something that she will regret. In that sense, because she's exploded
Okay.
at members of the party before in anger. And of course, it's not healthy for the group to keep doing that.
You go
Oh.
on. No, you.
If it's if it's along those lines, maybe I sense a bit of tension, like, you know, she's wriggling around trying to get comfy. So he'll try and phrase it a little bit different and say, imagine it's a blank sheet of music and you want to focus on the same sort of things you've done and channel them into a music piece. So having that focus to try and channel and control emotion, and therefore your thoughts, your body, the works.
I'm just imagining the Firebird suite. It's all calm.
Yeah.
And it gets really chaotic and everything explodes and everything is awful and then it goes calm again.
It's my favorite ballet.
I know that's what
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Cool, and
like
she might have a new composition out of it as well.
yeah, exactly. So having like a creative outlet to it.
Cool. I think she'll eventually, you can probably sense she's eventually settling down, and you can probably tell her breathing starts to relax a little bit. So she's obviously taking your words on, and it seems to be helping. So
Awesome.
well done, Sensei.
Just take a final deep breath and then place the flame away at the end of the rest.
And it does open up a new kind of avenue of thought about fire. Normally it's this, like you said, chaotic element, fiery, it's passionate, it's freedom, but there's also a comforting sense to fire in that it
Well,
keeps one's warm. It's the campfire type fire, you know?
it's also the way that I can imagine his meditation sessions go, considering Kesh'an's past. Having fire as that focus is literally like, as soon as he goes into his meditation, it starts off as this raging like wildfire, and as he begins to control those feelings, in fact he'd probably describe this, and then as the meditation goes on, he manages to control and center himself until it dwindles down to the size of the flame.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I know how I can keep myself busy for a little bit and calm.
For 5 minutes.
What sort of lineup are we in? We know we got Kesh'an at the front,
Goblins are right at the back, kind of like almost.
Andi just behind Kesh'an,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I am going
Team I
to
imagine is probably next to Andi.
yeah.
Karius on his own.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's still technically part of the group.
Because
Behind the NPCs.
so in terms of what Andi and Elias have spoken about, he's going to fabricate the loot just going on pure imagination of what Andi gave in terms of
You mean violin, not loot?
violin, sorry. In terms of of the information and the etchings, he's going to actually do it while we're going. Just pure blindfolded, pure creativity and imagination.
Keeping his mind elsewhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
While he's doing it, he also tries to help keep Eirina calm as well by passing forwards a little amber figure that she won't be able to look at right now, but she'll probably be able to tell by feel that it's Porky. I'll just say she was the angry one, not you.
Eirina is probably trying very, very hard not to have a panic attack right now.
Maybe
She has never not been able to see in the dark
Welcome to my world.
since she met Candlewick. She's sitting, like she needs both her hands, so she can't hold on to whoever's either side. So she's kind of got her legs one over whoever's either side of her. So she's still got them there, and she's literally delved into her pockets and pulled out a particular key, and she's literally flipping it like constantly in her fingers.
Well, hopefully the amber figure of your sister helps to
Yeah, she's
calm.
got Porky in one hand and she's just flipping this key in the other, just like round and round and round and round and round and round and round.
It's comforting, although everyone can tell it's a way of coping with the stress. It's what you can. It's only what you can do
And then
in this moment.
after the time elapses, I'm just like, pass this along, as it goes from person to person until Andi has it, and then obviously she'd recognize what it is and can give it to her father whenever she wants.
Wait a second, Kirstie's just nipped off. She'll be back in a second, so you
Never
might have to
knew
repeat that
my
bit again in a
father.
minute.
But yeah, and in the other meantime, Elias will just tell stories of the journey that he had in absolute negative space and how Porky's sister used a child to whack a werewolf.
That is not what happened! You hear Porky in the back of your head.
Used a paladin to whack a vampire.
That one she did. She
Yeah.
killed him by eating the paladin. It's like my favorite thing.
How our paladin was turning into a werewolf, but also had a love connection to our clerics, so I gave them a collar and a leash. Just funny stories to like get us through this.
I like it.
As
All right.
as he was creating the violin, and then once he finishes it, yeah, he passes it forwards until it reaches Andy's hands, so she can, give it as a gift to her father or whatever.
Sounds fitting.
We're passing
Let's just put
time,
this
getting
violin
through
through there.
things.
Oh, quick. Waiting for the time to fabricate.
Yeah. This is just your short rest. You've been past this little statue. You can feel it, sort of the shape. But to truly see it, you'd have to, unblindfold. But daring not risk that at the moment.
She's already called Eirina strange. She doesn't want to be Eirina mad.
What sort of statue does it feel like?
The statue has not changed yet. Not on a short rest. Hasn't. It seems to be changing on a long rest. You've realised that now.
Oh, the statue changes.
I mean, something happens. Like first, it did change shape. Now, second, it made gunpowder, black
Oh,
powder.
you're on about Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus, yeah.
I thought you meant like as we were walking, we kept passing a statue over and over.
No, you were talking about passing the thing down the line.
Passing
That's
the
the violin.
the
Yeah,
violin.
sorry, that's what I meant. What did I say? Stone. My bad. Yeah, I meant the violin. Sorry, the violin is passed down the line to Andy.
Yeah. And yeah, I was confused. I was like, statue?
Yeah, don't worry about me.
The amber figure
So
changed?
I'm going mad here. I'm having to. I have my eyes open as the DM. I'm trying to guide us through this illusion. It's clearly sending me mad, right? So give me a break.
So
Never.
far, what we've got is Andy's got a statue of her father
Mhm.
and a violin that she can give to her father. Eirina's got the Porky amber figure. Kesh'an's got the Ladovu Goblin Earth Tribe crown. I've got a list of gifts here that Elias is passing along over time in the Earth plane to each of the party members.
Karius is maybe doomed to the entire world.
I did give Karius a gift, but then it broke, and
What did you give Karius?
his horn.
Yeah, that's true, but that wasn't really a gift. That was more a side effect.
Well,
And then they purposely broke that horn. It's to be honest, he probably felt off balance without it. With an extra horn back, he'd got used to not having one. It's thrown me off.
Oh god, my eyes. Sorry. I'm actually looking at the
You
maze.
have
It's
no one
not...
to blame but yourself for this
No.
bit, Chris.
I feel like at some point one of the NPCs just opens their eyes. You hear towards the back of the line, this kind of murmuring sound. It starts off out in Terran, and some of you would understand the first couple of lines, like, "Where are we? Well, with the walls and where the squares and the corners every turn." And it starts to devolve more into just murmurings and mumblings, like
Karius is gonna take a risk on this. I'm gonna regret this, but Karius, he's gonna briefly open his eyes. No, actually, no. Taclo can technic. No, I'm gonna risk it to help these people.
Wow.
Alright.
Okay.
Karius is gonna briefly open his eyes and cast Enthrall on those people behind them, so all of their focus is on him rather than everything around him.
Enthrall. Okay.
Which is a natural tiefling ability.
I'm gonna pull you to the scene, Karius.
Oh no.
This is what you see. Make me an intelligence saving throw. The maze is not a maze. It is an abstract illusion of some kind. It's moving, but only because you're looking at it. If you try not to look at it, it's perfectly still. And yet, your mind reels in, not in circles, but in squares. It only gets worse. There's another one for you. And as you look at it, it is unbelievably hypnotizing, but you already know what's coming. You expect it. So, and you're just trying to concentrate on casting the spell. All you need to do is look at them. So you try to block out everything else that you're looking at.
I'm focused on them. I'm like, you lot who have opened your eyes, focus on me, nothing but me. I am the only one here. And...
But the walls are melting! It's all melting!
I am the walls. And I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Look me in the eyes, not around the eyes. Look me in the eyes, not around the eyes.
Basically. And he's addressing them in Terran. And...
He rolls a natural 19 thanks to you basically overcoming the madness. And he's like, okay! And the other one's like, put your blindfold back on, damn it! And he does so. He just sticks it back on, ties it, and he seems to be shaking it off.
Alright. Now keep your blindfold on. Don't be a moron, or you're gonna go mad, or possibly turn to even more stone than you already are.
Just didn't want to... I thought you was leading us into a trap, okay? I'm sorry.
If we're leading you into a trap, we're leading ourselves into a trap, because none of us can see either.
Alright. Oh, keep it on. Oh, are we through the maze yet? Like, how much further? We've been in this place for hours.
Karius goes, we're not at the end yet, but I'm sure we're getting there.
You put your blindfold back on then?
Yep.
I'll take you back to the actual scene so that your eyes don't continue to melt.
I hope you worked out the maze in that time.
Oh, hell no. I'm not even... This isn't even a maze. This is just...
Oh, no, there is a maze. Can you not see it?
Is it the green bit or the blue bit? Like, I can see the blue bit, but it doesn't look like it joins up.
Not being able to see it ourselves, what you just said then sounds absolutely crazy.
Which is perfect.
I'm going to guess it's the green bit because the blue bits don't make sense.
I'm pulling him away just in time before James goes mad.
That's characters like, what? Why is some
Just-
green and some blue? Is that the wall? Is that the wall? Oh god.
Some of the green and the blue bits are merging together to make yellow bits. What?
That doesn't even make sense from a color perspective. But yeah, honestly, I'm amazed I've made these saves twice because I only have a +2 in intelligence saves. And I
Wow.
managed to get 20 both times.
Yeah, that's incredible. The luck has been on your side hugely, especially with the getting past the barrier as well. So you've gathered yourselves. You've had this moment of respite. You feel like you could probably get back up on your feet and start moving again. But Kesh'an, you really are moving through this maze completely blind. Ladorvu doesn't give much advice through this area other than what you've kind of already been taught, and funny enough, what you're teaching others as well in that moment of how to control your emotions, and even when things are utterly dark, even when there is no light, you can still feel the warmth, and that is comfort enough. The frozen flame will steady your nerves and get you through the endless corridors. However, you're not sure whether you could be going in circles, going back on yourself, going into a dead end, or if you're going the right way, or just deeper into this endless maze. It truly feels like this was built to completely befuddle any intruders. This is like the ultimate security. If someone wanted to hide their treasures, this would be the place to do it. And you're still feeling around every kind of corridor you go down. But how much longer do you kind of go aimlessly? Is my question. Because you're the one leading this.
I mean, until somebody pipes up, I guess, because
Okay.
Kesh'an just wants to get there, so he'd just walk.
Oh,
Sure.
oh,
Sure.
Elias is piping up. He's still going on about his stories. He's just like, and at one point, the cleric that I really couldn't get through to, who was like very anti-fun, I managed to get her to start singing the Cool Patrol song to a load of demon ritualists.
I think you are. You're the other type of madness, but maybe it's counteracting the other madness.
Trying to
I've
keep
never
everyone...
even heard of the Cool Patrol song. It must be a Barovia thing.
Oh, I can sing it for you because they happen to know the lyrics when I didn't. But I memorized them because that was a fun moment, and I'd start singing it.
In Alice's voice.
I'm just trying to keep everyone chipper in this very like somber moment after what's just happened. This feels like Barovia all over again to him.
It's great. This is just like I remember. So depressing. Yeah. The maze continues, and I hate to say it, but another hour goes by, just aimlessly wandering in the maze. You have no idea, like I say, if you're going back on yourself or if you're going deeper. It's impossible to say. You've just felt through touch. The walls, the ceilings, the stairways, which occasionally, in fact, they might actually trip you up. So we're going to introduce a little bit of a challenge here. Kesh'an, you can make me a dexterity saving throw. As this dead end that you come to, it's not just dead. It's a sheer drop. You find you're placing your foot one in front of the other, and then the next foot you lean forward to place your weight on that paw, and there's nothing there. And as you're about to fall forwards, you kind of lean back with your upper half, probably grabbing onto the hand that's on your shoulder to grip it and steady yourself, and you suddenly kind of like steady yourself, but you're like leaning over a nothingness. And if you was to pull out your staff and feel around, there's just, you can just feel a drop, just nothing before you.
Well, thank
you
God
need-
I kept this. I go into my bag and I pull out the zippity yip stuff. and I'm gonna use that as a cane.
Okay, yeah. The old 10-foot pole.
Yep.
Classic dungeon crawling now. Yeah, even if you have to extend that even further down, still no bottom to this kind of.
Oh, not going that way.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll use that as a seeing stick, and I'll try and find another way.
Don't we want to go further down?
Not
the
a
question.
not a sheer drop.
As we walk, like Irina's gonna get conscious that this seems to be taking forever, and she's kind of like, yeah, I want this over with now.
Mhm.
As they walk, she's gonna start doing some legend lore,
Okay.
focusing on, like, obviously because it gives you basically any knowledge on the thing, and because we're physically in it.
So long as the lore is on something that is of legendary or renown, right?
I think that's what this is.
Okay, sure. I'm just telling you, yeah. You couldn't do it on like a chicken's egg,
No,
unless that
I'm
egg
not.
was the golden egg of.
I know that much.
But we're doing it
And
on
that's
the
really
sevenfold Maze 6th layer, I suppose, if you want to get really specific.
It says name or describe a person, place, or object. So I'm thinking the actual, rather than the area we're in. I want the design of this thing, the guy who put this in place, the mechanics of how it came to be.
Okay.
I don't want the way out. I want how it works so I can turn the damn thing off.
All right. Okay.
Shortcut.
This spell begins to sort of the smoke in the area begins to sort of eke out, and Candlewick just sort of fills out the area. How it works, the design, what Earth God came up with this maddening place.
Oh wait, no, I don't have the incense to cast it.
can
Kesh'an
use-
would probably have some.
Do you have incense?
I'm assuming so in like an explorer's pack or a religion pack.
I always forget about the incense because I used the last of it on my last turn, so I might not be able to cast it. Well, that buggers up my plan.
Okay. Let me see. John, do you actually?
I have an explorer's pack, so I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if you do or not, to be honest. Unless you went specifically to go get some.
Would
I
the Goblin
do
monks have it as they had it in their monastery?
I do have dank tea that I got given by Datan's mum's boy.
How much dank tea do you have?
It's expensive tea, to be fair, so it could be
It's
worth the equal
dank
amount.
tea.
Just how dank? That's the question. Is it 250 gold dank? That's what we want to know.
I don't know. He seemed like a a rich boy.
Are candles a type of incense?
What? Sorry.
Are candles a type of incense?
No, they're not.
If you give them some sort of scent, I can make them have scents. I think.
Incense is crushed leaves and minerals.
Oh.
It's
plenty-
crushed
Ears,
herbs
leaves.
that are dried out and then attached so that you can burn them.
I was hoping. I have alarm stones.
He is a leaf.
I don't know how that helps. But...
He is a leaf, so
Oh, I could make some incense with pigments. Would that work?
Maybe. Yeah. How much are you willing to spend on with the pigments?
How much do we need?
Need 250 golds worth.
How much will 89 foot of pigments give me?
89 foot of pigments.
Like,
Good question. Gone on.
I'm doing this over and over using bits of my pigments, knowing full well out of character that Kesh'an hasn't used his once.
I have actually.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah, I've used it to make a door
When did you do that?
ages ago. Ages and ages.
I'll tell you what. You can. How many feet have you got? Sorry.
89 foot.
89.
I don't think
Okay.
I'd need to use 89 foot though.
No, but I've got an idea of how to do this fairly. Um,
Fairly, meaning I don't have to use mine.
you can use 10 feet of pigments. The reason why it's so much is because nothing created by the pigments can have a value greater than 25. So you basically have to make a crap ton of incense. It can't be like really expensive incense. You just have to make a load of it.
Using like each foot or whatever.
Exactly. So you're just making, rather than expensive incense, you're making loads of cheap incense that together can be 250 golds worth.
Just
So it's
imagine
only-
Eirina waiting for like 3 sticks and she gets like 200.
So if
Yeah.
you said 25 per foot, that's 10 feet.
That's correct. That's what I said, 10 feet. Now, how are you going to paint these with your blindfold on? I'm going to need you to roll an intelligence save to paint these.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Intelligence.
Otherwise, you might end up making weed. I don't know. Like, you might pick the wrong color.
Do I have anything that can help this?
Oh my god, it turns it from a Legends lore into like a Legends conspiracy theory.
Does anyone want to aid me in this?
Don't
Oh.
understand how the stairs work, man.
Unless anyone's got resistance, I'm not sure how they could help.
I mean, technically, if Kesh'an gives you the
I
dank
can.
tea, you could literally just mash the paintbrush against those and mix color into them. It's still leaves, you're just turning them into...
You said a save throw, right?
They're not. You could try and mash it up, but there's also the chance that it kind of goes wrong.
I'm
It would
go-
be an intelligence save.
I'm
yeah.
gonna cast this on say Kesh'an as he's leading the party, Eirina because they're trying to do something, and Elias, and I cast Bless.
There you go. That's the best shot you're gonna
So
have
get
now,
a
Elias.
D4 on the save.
Okay.
Technically, there's one more thing you could do. I think, does Bardic Inspiration add to saves? It does.
Hypnotic inspiration?
You've also got all your inspiration back on a short rest.
Go to bed then.
That's true.
Andi will give Bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Kirstie was not enough, so she's going to bed.
Oh, that's okay.
No
I think we'll
way.
end up after this.
16, 17, and then what?
Good night,
is
Kirstie.
It's a
No,
D10.
no,
D10. So we're
Okay.
looking at 24.
20. You're looking at 24, and so I'm looking at 24, and you're looking at this level. As I'm going to drag you over.
Looking at the level? I thought
Yeah,
I
the
was
re-
You
doing,
opened your eyes to make the paint, so you'd get a glimpse of it.
I thought I was doing this blindfolded.
No,
No.
otherwise you fail at making them. How would you know what you were making?
I thought Eirina would be guiding me.
Eirina is also blindfolded.
Just so, doing the thing where you're like drawing on someone's back.
That's a terrible idea.
Oh wow, this is. I hate this.
Yep.
This isn't even colors anymore. This is just grayscale.
Oh, is
and-
it the grey thing with like the square in the middle sort of thing?
Yeah.
Spoilers! Spoilers!
I can't. He doesn't. He wouldn't be able to describe what this is.
It's not moving, but it's also moving.
Yep. Yeah, Chris is throwing up. I swear Chris has shown this optical illusion before because it looks so goddamn familiar.
If I look around the outside, only the middle seems to be moving. But if I look in the middle, only the outside seems to be moving. But if I
Oh,
look
it's an
at both-
optical illusion. Okay.
But if I look at both, they're both moving.
Is
At the
what
same
Elias is saying as he opens up the blindfold. And you kind of shake your head and go back down to the paints, looking at the paints. Okay, and you start to focus. You do, out of all of those, the Bless plus the Bardic Inspiration do keep your mind back on track, and you can create enough dank incense to
Dank
we're
leaves.
calling, that's what it's called now, dank incense. To
Dank
make
scent.
250 incense to make
Thank
250 gold.
incense.
Dank
Thank
incense.
incense.
Yeah, there you go. And it only uses 10 feet, so you've still got 70 odd left, haven't you?
Yeah.
And Eirina, you're given this. As you finish them up and hand them back, and Elias, as you're about to put are you putting your blindfold back on, or are you gonna have a little gander?
Well, is this like I've passed, but if I keep looking, I have to make another save, or is this like
Right.
a?
Yeah. I mean, you can if you want. Just asking, what do you do after you completed your
I think
painting?
I think I will keep my blindfold back on.
Okay.
Because my
Alright.
intelligence isn't that great.
As you look back up
But it
and
is
you're
good.
beginning to tie your blindfold back up, you
Oh
see in front
my
of you the maze change and
god.
shift because it is constantly shifting.
Oh my god.
You see the blue and the greens.
It is the blue and the greens.
Do you see what I mean? Like, it's not obvious which bit's the actual meant to be the actual maze initially.
I see what's supposed to be the maze. It's clearly the greens.
No, I think it's clearly the blues.
No, it's clearly the greens because the start point is on the green.
I didn't see a stop point, but I
And
was
it,
just
and it leads into the greens.
I think apparently one of our viewers solved it.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah,
This maze isn't meant to be solved.
which is
I mean, this is just a visual
something from
representation.
the whereas I think W, whoever W is, my brain's gone.
Oh, I think I know who that. But in any case, this maze is purely for just a kind of
It's
visualization, sort of what you're having to deal with. Your eyes physically can't represent what the maze shows. It's too shifting, too mesmerizing. Mortal eyes go insane.
I mean,
In fact, that's the lucky outcome. If you're
Yeah, it's
unlucky,
Dax, by the way.
it's Zax. Yeah, it's Julian. You get
I think that was
petrified
the name.
with the worst outcome. But nonetheless, I'm going to drag you back because enough of that nonsense.
I did it though.
Oh,
I did it.
the blindfold's back on, and your mind reels back into place, and like it feels like it kind of shunts back into into your skull, and you shake off any adverse effects that your mind would have had.
It felt
Um,
it felt like I was creating the incense upside down while also walking on the wall.
that's a good description. Yeah. Oh wait, you're still over there. Let me pull you back. Where are you? There you go. So, meanwhile, Eirina, you're able to cast Legend Lore, and the smoke begins to sort of eke out into the maze and begin to sort of understand its complicated construction. The maze was indeed constructed by an earth god, and you start to see in your mind's eye the smoke appear as images, shapes. A large sort of like shard of earth seems to rise up, and you see it split. Arms begin to grow from the shard. It's like a humanoid stalagmite, and you see him beginning to shape the earth around him, turning the tunnels into a maze. Not only that, he seems to cast some sort of spell. An enchantment, perhaps? Or is it transmutation? Impossible to know. But what you do see is in one hand, he holds like a bullseye lantern, and the light that goes down this tunnel suddenly bends and swirls, just transforming light into another substance entirely. At the start of the tunnel, the light just appears as a beam, but once it goes round a corner, it actually bends like it's reflecting off something. But then once it's deeper into the maze fully, it swirls like water, and you just see it kind of melting away. It's like running around, running through the corners, through the grooves of the maze. It has the ability to turn light into water. That's what you're trying to comprehend anyway. You then see an image of the Great Khan, and only he seems to be able to view these bizarre sights within this region without experiencing any adverse effects. Others who follow through the maze are just either stricken with madness, or you see individuals turning to stone. But whatever it is, you understand that there is a spell permeating the maze that is transforming light. That's the trick. That's the, what did you call it? The
Optical illusion.
it is an optical illusion for sure. But it's what you was trying to figure out, the mechanisms behind the maze, is the light bending, warping magic. That's what's doing it. Other than that, yeah, you don't get the solution, of course, but your mind is sort of set back into darkness, and hopefully that gives you something. Unless you want to ask me anything more, like about what you're seeing.
I'm thinking like, because you're saying the light kind of, whatever it does, bends round corners and stuff. I'm wondering if there's some sort of like prism effect happening to help it bend.
Right.
And you say it turns into like water, but is it water, or is it kind of like a rippling effect that the light is going through, almost like when things get too hot and things start to warp? And
It could be that it's changed from light into physical water, but it looked more like it had the illusion of turning into water. It had the consistency of water. Like you said, it kind of ripples, it flows like water. So it runs along edges and grooves rather than just bouncing like in a straight line like light normally does. It flowed into the earth like grooves and such.
okay.
It might be that it got to a point where it's that distorted that photons are literally just sort of melting. You're not even sure the science behind it.
And the source of the light was at the start, did you say?
Yeah, that was just from a demonstration, effectively. You saw the Earth God effectively holding up like a bullseye lantern, just showing how light bends and melts, but you don't necessarily need a light. It was purely as a demonstration, you feel like.
Okay.
Demonstrating the enchantment or transmutation that's been placed over the maze. And you're right, the whole maze could just be one giant prism.
Prison?
Prism
But
that
also
bends light.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more risky thing. Risky for me, not for you guys, but I just need to check a thing first.
Receiving.
Don't do it. You have so much to live for.
Depends if the world's there when we get back.
What? Sorry,
Okay.
what are you trying to do?
I'm going to, once kind of legend lore ebbs away,
She said the word.
I'm going to take a second, and I'm going to cast darkness around us, so that even if people open their eyes, they can't see anything. And I'm going to tip the hat back because I can see through the darkness.
Oh.
I want to see if it interrupts the illusion.
No, that is actually genius. Hadn't thought of something like that. You're in darkness. Light can't go through and can't shift the maze.
Yeah, because it's magical darkness as well.
And you can cast on an object so you can carry it with us.
That is pretty genius.
What would you
The
cast
light
it?
is shifting all around the darkness.
What would I
You feel
cast
it-
it on?
Yeah,
And
cast it
look
on
scabbard.
anything. Yeah,
Oh.
your scabbard. Your scabbard begins to eke out that inky blackness, swirling smoke around you, and it looks like it's almost battling against the light once you pull back the hood and you see the revealing onslaught of light as it tries to bend and find a way in past the darkness, like it's spiking through sometimes, Sometimes it leaks past and like drips into the darkness, but Candlewick swirls around again and continues to billow the smoke, pushing the light back. The light is what's causing this maze to shift, both through sight and through physicality, it seems. The maze on the outside is shifting in patterns, and I do need you to make an intelligence saving throw. But I'll give you advantage because it's obscured by a great deal of smoke. Okay.
Did you
So
mention
there's-
you were going to be doing this? Because I would definitely inspire you
You can inspire.
if you were going to be taking. Yeah.
Well, I would
Absolutely.
have warned you because I would have needed to take my hands away from whoever is
True.
standing next to me.
I'd have at least inspired you. Like I got inspiration.
I
by
don't
it.
know how much good that's gonna do, but
It's a 10.
10.
It could be
Yeah.
a max.
Go ahead, roll a d10. It's not
11.
enough.
I have bless as well.
You do have bless.
Okay, roll bless.
How much is bless? 1d4.
Yeah.
D4, yeah.
Oh, for
Oh,
God's
Lord.
sake!
I'd also
Uh,
like to say that as Legend Lore cast, 10 minutes bless would be gone, so you wouldn't have bless.
That's
It's
Okay,
true.
less
so the
than
one
last
doesn't
time.
matter anyway. I failed.
Okay. So you're realizing it's working at first. You look at the ground, the walls around you that are inside the darkness, and they appear stable. They are flat surfaces that you can picture and realize. But you then sort of make the mistake of looking outwards beyond the darkness.
To be
where
fair,
you're
I
trying
don't need
get
to be able to see to cast darkness, so the spell would still work.
True, but you're testing to see if it does, and if you
Yeah,
can't,
but the spell still holds.
sure, the spell's fine. Nothing wrong with that. The problem is as you look forwards to see where you're going now, like the path ahead, outside of the darkness spell, it is still that absolute mesmerizing maze of insanity. And I'm just going to drag everyone on because why the heck not? At this point, it's only leaving out Kesh'an.
All right.
The tunnel before you is a myriad of tunnels. Every square is like a space that you could enter into, but there's this void, this edge in between. The tunnel is either in front of you, or is it a wall, or is it open space? Is it negative space? Your mind reels at these inconsistencies and paradoxes, and as it does, the vision before you kind of shudders, and your brain feels like it's sloshing against your skull. Then the colors suddenly shift as the maze bends light once again, and everything starts to go into a
Oh my
wave
god,
of
I don't like
something.
that.
Everything begins to melt and meld together. It's maddening. You can roll on the D100 madness table.
Oh no!
Wait, is this the Eldritch madness table by any
it's-
chance?
It's the madness table that belongs on the 5e.
Oh, okay.
Like it's straight from the DMG. What do you get, Eirina?
27.
27. Huh. Okay. Okay. You try to become more like someone else you know, adopting their style of dress, mannerisms, and name.
Oops.
Who do you suddenly have imposter syndrome? It feels like your mind is shut down. Eirina is no more. They're trapped inside this prison, this maze, and you feel like you're like an outer body experience as you see yourself. You see yourself like walk forward and past the corner and into the maze, and Eirina is gone,
Who are you gonna
gone
be?
from your mind. Who are you now?
Uh,
Someone you know, someone who maybe you could feel you could pull off in role playing, but you've suddenly adopted a new personality. It's like your brain has like this emptiness, this vacuum that needs to be filled immediately. So it grasps at the nearest personality, the nearest character inside your head, and puts that in the pilot seat of your body and mind.
It's lost into it. isn't it?
Step. Oh no, damn it. If Llewellyn was here, you could have
It's
been his dad.
Llewellyn.
Alan, a fantastic choice.
I'm honoured,
It's
but
the
also
reason
no.
why we're here.
Yeah, I
So
So,
mean,
Hello.
Jamie, next session, you have to give me pointers before we reach next session.
I'll give you pointers. Be annoying.
be a disappointment.
Be dis-
Yeah.
Everything you see as well, you adopt everything. So Candlewick is now Grimoire, and it's Grimoire's powers that you draw upon, not Candlewick's. Yeah, you are Llewellyn now. Llewellyn Ironwood, risen in the Silver Pine Forest. You've come to
Do
know
I lose
madness.
my Scottish accent?
You do. Thankfully, this isn't a completely debilitating madness. You've just become someone else. You've lost yourself in the maze, and someone else has taken that seat inside your mind.
Also, this
You
maze was really easy to solve. I did it.
yeah.
Same.
Oh yeah, the maze. Like I said, the maze isn't.
So you're gonna have.
See, initially I
Yeah.
didn't see the S and the E,
Okay.
so I thought it was the blue that was it because it.
Let's say though, let's say you're trying to solve this blindfolded and in first person. It would take you hours, like going around, feeling the walls.
I have a new idea. I have a new idea. So this is all about sight. Sight causes madness. It's the light of seeing it that makes the walls seem like they're turning and twisting. Do you know what doesn't cause that? Sound
Okay.
bouncing off walls. So I am gonna say
The
that.
walls shift.
Yeah, but the walls are only shifting if you're looking at
No,
them.
the wall. No, the based on what Taklo was saying, the walls are always shifting. When we were initially looking at them, we were seeing them standing still because our brain was just processing a single screenshot and it was actually moving because Taklo is detecting that through tremor sense, not
It
through
is.
vision.
So would echolocation not work?
Nope. Echolocation would not work.
I have a
No.
question really quickly. If I'm Llewellyn, can I have access to his sheet
Yeah,
so I can
sure.
see what spells he has so I know what I'm using?
Sure.
What?
That is also a skill.
Wait, would you be able to use those spells?
No, but I'm
No,
guessing.
but I would try casting them because I'm Llewellyn.
Oh my god.
Or be like, aha, I cast this, and it's just how you cast gaseous form.
Yeah,
I
this
guess.
is it. I just need to know what his spell list is,
Yeah, yeah.
really,
Okay.
and what
okay.
items he's got, so I can, like,
Sure.
you know.
So
Oh
you
my
would...
god, I cast Fireball and it's your Eldritch Blast.
I have an earring that can cast Fireball. Don't.
Okay.
So
There you go.
somewhere
Okay.
inside you would feel like you've lost something that you were a little bit attached to because it protected you, and you would fully believe that those robes belonged to you.
Mhm. Yeah.
The
This is an
feeling's mutual,
indefinite.
in other words.
This is an
Want it-
indefinite madness, by the way. It lasts until cured.
And
Oh
you-
god, none of it. That's
you would-
greater restoration to cure, isn't it? Madness.
Something like that.
I don't
But,
think Lester does it.
We're coming to an end on this
Oh,
session,
wow.
but I will point out though that once you've taken over a hold of Llewellyn instead, you can see that, as I said, that surrounding darkness is stable. The darkness stops the maze from shifting, and you can walk safely as long as you're within that darkness. You can fit everyone in it. You could guide the way. Weirdly, with darkness, you're the guiding dark, not
however,
the guiding light.
however,
Which is
can
so
I
fitting for Candlewick.
can I just point out that Eirina would probably put a blindfold over one eye because she thinks she's only got one eye.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you need to cover up an eye. But as you begin making your way towards perhaps the exit of this maze.
Oh my god. Oh, you've only got one hand.
Oh yeah,
I
you've
do
only got
indeed
one.
only have one hand too.
Yeah, you can't feel your other fingers. You can just feel like a hook.
It's a hook of a monster as well. It's what was it? A horror hook. Horror.
Cora.
Yeah,
But-
it is.
Considering
you-
this is like a psychological madness thing with like the eye, are they so convinced that the eye isn't there that it stops working? Like from a
Yeah.
psychological perspective.
Yeah. If
My
they look
God.
down towards their scabbard, they see Grimoire, not Candlewick. They see a book instead of a sword.
but only through one eye.
So you have to be really terrible at necromancy is the main point.
No.
yeah, that's a good point.
And but here's you wouldn't willy-nilly summon dead stuff because you respect the dead so fully. That's why you like it.
I mean,
It's okay. I'm gonna respect Lavelle, that's why I want your pointers during the week before next Friday.
I
Don't
suppose
worry.
it's
Lavelle is safe with me, trust me.
And you
because
wouldn't go crushing skulls like you did the other session. Because
No, I know I would.
Lavellen would have been torn and I would be like, what?
I'm sorry, but there's reasoning that's okay.
I figured there would be for Eirina.
just
Okay.
This
an
is the guy that
interesting
harvests
thing.
pieces for his book. also.
Because Elias, no, Lavellen has that Grim
Oh, and there's
Harvest thing where
monsters.
they heal through, like, it's like a first level ability. And Eirina has a similar ability with the Hexblade Curse, because that heals as well. So that's a similar.
Yep.
It's funny.
Yeah. I was just thinking.
You can
that,
rationalize all your abilities as actually being Lavellan's very easily.
I can
Right?
100% rationalize this. You just don't
Yeah.
know the whole reason for it.
True. So yeah, there's a reason why you're grasping at Lavellan, why he's taken over instead. But as we make our way towards the exit, you're solving this maze pretty quickly now. All the stairs that are before you, they warp and turn, but as you get closer, as the darkness envelops them, they suddenly become a single flat plane that you're able to just glide across and walk confidently through. It doesn't take you long before you figure out which ways lead to the dead ends, which ways have a clear path and get further and further. As you're working your way through the maze, you actually up ahead, all of you hear a set of heavy footfall, and suddenly you hear something being like pulled out, like a weapon, perhaps, like unequipped, like equipped. And then you hear kind of like a swooshing noise in front of you, and you hear, "Who's there? Who is it? Are you friend? Foe? What are you?"
Friend,
Friend.
And I hope.
Sounds like a lot of you. Wait. Do I recognize those voices?
Is this Shakaf?
No, it doesn't sound like Shakef. He was much more like elderly.
Is this the mountainous minotaur?
No, this is the guy who beat the Great Khan now becomes the Great Khan.
It doesn't sound like Shakef. It doesn't sound like either of those.
Is it not the guy
I'm-
who helped in the first floor? Who
I'm struggling
was
to
our
remember
slave?
what his voice actually sounded like, but
Is it?
You can hear a voice. You don't know exactly who it is. You're all guessing.
The
But-
graceful.
Maybe that's a good place to end it, actually, as you hear this voice.
so obviously Chad, you guys.
If it ends up being Chad somehow again.
He does say, though,
It's
he
just
does
like,
say,
hello. Are you
He's our-
there?
He's our slaver.
I finally caught up to you.
It is.
Or is
Or
it
is
the
it
one who was trying to enslave us? Or what?
Okay.
It's
you
the
hear-
tiefling!
There it is.
It's the blue tiefling who we
It
thought was
is.
like a vampire. Because he was like, oh, I'll catch up to you later.
Yeah.
Oh.
Drank off the dead bodies.
That was his last words. I'll catch up to you later, is what he said. And he said, right now, finally caught up to you. So we'll leave it there as it has reached past. But the blue tiefling, everyone almost forgot about. I almost forgot about. But he is down here and he's probably going to have a lot of questions for you. Like, what the hell was that loud noise? Why is there a giant worm now?
How did he get ahead of us?
He just
How-
pulls down the thing like Krog. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
You guys have been
How
going to
did we cross?
monasteries.
Yeah,
went to the
I
cracked
suppose he must have bypassed us at that point, yeah.
You've
Big,
been to a lot of
the
different
invisible
places.
maze. Yeah.
Or even
He-
when we were doing the thing on the layer where I almost died. Well, that could be
happened
any
too.
layer.
You've done quite a few side tracks. Anyway, that's where
Yeah.
we'll end. And thank you very much for playing. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week to get to the 7th region of the maze. Oh my god, you're actually almost there.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
This is it. The end of this Diamond Soul arc is approaching. So hopefully finish and wrap it up before Christmas. Would be great.
Yep.
Awesome. See you all then.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye
bye.
bye.